know when it started. Just texted him really quick. This is like before a stream where they have technical difficulties the entire time. Except ours shouldn't be. I assume that's the signal. I assume we're recording now. Okay. For those listening in who did not see this game, or any audience members if we ever get those, our signal is a man making a money angel. Okay, I'm going to go into the test purposes chat because no one posts in there, so nothing will distract me. All right, let me check my notes. Mason, let's begin this game. Welcome to the premiere of Mason Origins, Hope's Crusader. So, let's get the show on the road. Mason.
Yep.
You're breathing very heavy. You feel the air escaping your lungs and you're trying to get it back, but you inhale smoke and embers. It's tough, it hurts. You're coughing violently, but your mom grabs you by the wrist and she's running with you. You're holding the hand of your friend like a chain, so that way you can all run at the same time. You're holding your friend's hand, Alex Albright, making sure that she doesn't get disconnected from the group. The streets are broken and crumbled. Rubble is in the surrounding area, just all over the place. Hellfire encapsulates the city of New York as you watch buildings begin to crumble and spiral downwards. 6 portals have opened up in the sky. It's black, it's dark, and the portals you see gateways to space, stars and nebulas, and just shooting outside of it are drones, strange robotic creatures that come flying forward and descend upon the city. Laser blasts are being fired, just destroying everything in its path. Cars get flung into the air like they're nothing and slam back on the ground with earth-shattering power. And you're running. You, your mother, and your friend are running through the streets for dear life, trying to escape. You left your house behind. You couldn't take anything with you. You just had to go. And you keep running. You're trying to navigate where you're going. You don't know where you are. You're just maybe 6 or 7 at the time. You're not processing much. You're terrified. And as you keep running, you eventually see this area where you think you might be able to escape. The buildings that have fallen in the surrounding area have left enough of a clearing to where you think if you're able to run through there, maybe you can begin to make your way out of the city. The island of Manhattan has almost been completely flattened. These extraterrestrials, these monsters, things of your nightmares. You never thought they were real, but here they are bearing down on you. You run underneath a passageway. It's a large highway road held up by stilts and pillars. And as you're running under it, you stop for air. You take a break for just a moment. You can't keep running. Mom allows this. She's looking around like a frightened animal, making sure nothing is coming their way. You take a few breaths. Roll me a perception check. Because I want you to be able to interact with the game as much as possible. I don't want it to feel like very extended cutscenes too much.
Wait, so what am I rolling?
Just a awareness check. Excuse me, not perception. So roll d20, add your awareness bonus. I know it's been a bit.
I got an 8.
That's not that. All right, yeah, that's bad. So you're under the bridge. You're just gasping. You're breathing. You're looking to your friend Alex. She's terrified as well. You're looking to your mother. You have never seen her this worried. She's usually just your mother. When you're a kid, you think your parents can do everything for you. You think they're strong, that they always have the answers. They'll always be there, and they'll know what to do. for the first time in your life, you see your mother doesn't know what to do. And she feels as helpless as you, as helpless as a 6-year-old boy. But with your 8 perception check, you don't notice it in time until it's barreling upon you. On the highway, on the edge, the Mechana, or well, I guess you don't know them by that name yet. The extraterrestrials have been flying through the city and damaging it all. They've been shooting lasers rapidly, and a few of them dive bomb overhead and attack the bridge. And the edge of it begins to crumble, and some rocks begin to fall down, some of the cement. And what was resting on it was a large city bus. And the rubble in the bus begin to fall off the bridge and start to land on top of you. Your mother, frozen in fright, the 2 kids as well, you and your friend, can only close your eyes and wait for the impact. And then the bus stops mid-air. A shadow stretches over you, the silhouette of a large, powerful man. You look up to him and you see his golden boots, his red skin-tight suit, the large phoenix symbol pressed on his chest, his cape fluttering in the wind, and the fire on his body burning bright. He lifts the bus in the air and he screams, as I check my notes, "Fear not, citizens! The beacon of hope shines bright, for I have risen!" And you look up, your eyes filled with joy, terror, confusion, and then you wake up. You wake up in your room. However, it's not in your bedroom. It's not in the house where you live with your mother. It's in the temple where you've been going to train. I'll give you more info, but Mason, you wake up. How do you react? You've had this type of dream a fair amount. It's usually the same. It's the events that played out when you first met Rising Phoenix. It's the usual dream / nightmare that you have. It sticks with you very prominently. How do you react?
That's again?
You are 15 at this time now. So you kind of get a moment just like, okay, it's gone. Same thing happened again. It's over. Let me describe where you are. So you are in a temple. It's very modern. It's a very large complex. It's kind of built on the side of a mountain next to a forest, all that. There are many suburbs and cities not too far away. And you have been going here to train as a hero, to train as a beacon of hope. Now, we'll get into how you found this place later, but as of right now, this has been home. You've been here for a few months and stuff like that. Your mom knows where you are. She kind of sees this as like, this is like a little summer school type thing for hero training. I'm so happy for him. Your home is not too far away. Currently, you live in a place known as the World Capital City. It is the largest metropolis ever constructed. It is home to 55 million people, and it was built in China. After the destruction of New York City, many New York refugees were sent there. And so you live there for right now, and your temple, where you're staying at now, is not terribly far away from it. So that's kind of your location. This is where you are. As you take, your time to reflect and all that, you hear a few knocks on your door. Do you let them in?
Yeah, I'll let them in.
Okay. The door opens up, and you see a man in kind of khakis. He's got work boots on, um, just a t-shirt and kind of a jacket. And he's crossing his arms. He's leaning up against the frame of the door, and he looks to me and says, Mason, how did you sleep last night?
Fine, I guess. Had the dream again.
No, dear. Well, you seem, like you said, you seem fine right now. Hey, I wanted to let you know that, well, today's the big day. Your final test is ready. They're going to be performing it later in the day, he says, walking in. And before that, I want to go over a few more things before we get to that test. I want to make sure you're ready. As your teacher, I want to give you all the resources necessary. And this man is Connor Jackson. He has been your mentor. He is a very nice man. He's older than you. He's in his mid-20s. Or no, not his mid-20s, sorry. His mid-30s. Definitely a difference. But he's been your teacher here. He's the one who actually kind of led you to this temple. He's the one who taught you of his hero training course and all of that. And he's been a very good friend. And today is your final test. This test is it's basically you becoming a member of their organization and getting a hero permit, in a sense, allowing you to do heroic duties and stuff like that. And he wants to kind of go over a few more things with you before the test. Do you say anything to him?
Today's the day, huh?
Oh, yes,
right.
it is.
I'm ready.
I'm glad. Here, why don't you get dressed and meet me down in the training yard?
Got it. I'll be right out.
That's the spirit. And he just walks out. He shuts the door. And you take the time to get dressed. What do you put on? Just casual clothing? Do you put on wear?
What was that?
Oh,
The last part.
Oh, no, you're fine. Do you just kind of put on casual clothing, formal wear, anything?
Just my casual clothes.
Okay. I had a feeling. Just wanted to make sure. And you walk out and you walk through the temple. It's very traditional in a sense. Like the architecture is a traditional Chinese type structure and all that, but there is a lot of modern tech, like I said, that goes through here. There's lights, there's plumbing, there's solar panels on the roof and stuff like that. There's automated water features. Like, it looks traditional, but if you start looking around, it breaks the immersion. But you're walking through the hallways, and you eventually make it to the training ground. You see Connor. He's just kind of walking around, arms folded behind his back. He's checking up on some of the trainees as they're kind of sparring with their personal teachers. He sees you come out. He smiles, and he leads you to what you know as the meditation room. Now, the meditation room is a place you've visited a few times before. It's usually used to delve into the psyche of many of the students. What he's been using it for with you is to understand your fears and to understand your worries. It's always nervous when you go and you do this, but it's going to be this is most likely going to be the last time you'll have to come here, because once you complete the test, you'll be a full member. So he walks you into this meditation room. It's very beautiful. There are plants in the corners, ivy stone walls. There are tapestry laid about, rugs and pillows to sit on. There are candles lit. The aura is very calming and nice. It smells very pretty. And Connor gestures you to sit down on one of the pillows. Do you do so?
Yep.
Okay. You sit down very calmly, and he snaps his fingers. You don't dust away. People come in, some servants, with one of them carries a beautifully carved wooden bowl with water in it, places it in front of you. It's very clean, very pretty. A young woman steps in, and she places a lily pad in the middle of the bowl. It floats there, shifts around a little bit, but mainly stays in the center. One more person comes in with a flower. Very vibrant, very beautiful, and the colors almost look like they're mixing and changing with each other. She rests it on the lily pad. They all bow and they walk out. Connor walks up to you. He kneels down and says, "This time, I'm giving you a full dosage." And he whips out a match and lights it. And he looks to you and says, "It's just like all the other times. I'm going to light the flower. I want you to inhale the fumes. Close your eyes and tell me what you see. If we can work on conquering your fear today and get that ready before the test, I think you'll have nothing to worry about." And he slowly brings the match to the flower, lights one of the petals, kind of flicks it out with his wrist, and he tucks the match away in one of his pockets. And the flower begins to burn. And you see a pinkish scent mixed with a little bit of smoke, just a tiny bit, begin to veer up to you. Do you inhale the weird flower drugs?
If I want to improve, I have. Yeah, I'll do it.
Alrighty. Just making sure. Just showing that you can affect the story how you want. But you sniff the flower, and your eyes practically roll back into your head as you close them, and you're brought into your dreams, your subconscious. You hear Connor's voice echoing through your head, saying, "Mason, what do you see? See. And what you do see is, well, we'll determine that. I want you to roll me an awareness check.
All right. 19.
Oh, good lordy. All right. So, you are focusing very, very hard studying, and you're able to see very clearly this time what's going on. You yourself feel like you're in a third-person view. You're not yourself in the dream. You feel like you're watching it as though it's a movie. And you see young Mason, little 6-year-old Mason with Alex Albright. You two are just kind of playing in the living room, just with toys or whatever. You're hanging out. You're doing a play date. And you see your mother. She's just kind of cleaning the house, stuff she's keeping to herself. And then that cuts away. And then we see you guys running desperately. And we look up and we see the portals beginning to open up. They're rippling and distorted, and we can hear the screams of New York's residents beginning to run. And then we cut again. We see the Mechana beginning to fire and shoot down upon the city. Now, Connor did ask, what do you see? Do you want to tell him in your entranced state what you're envisioning?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you cut out for like a second. That's fine. Okay. You're kind of telling him. He's nodding. He's seeing it all. And then as it almost seems to follow beat for beat what is going on, what has been going on with your dreams and all that. You guys running, the Mechana flying over, Rising Phoenix, the hero you saw in your dream / memory, is not in this one. You only see the destruction and the mayhem. And then eventually, because you got a 19, we begin to go a bit further. We see more of your fears. And this time, you feel like you're Mason. So you're in this new, strange place. And I want you to roll me one more perception check, because your perception check allowed you to come here and see this. This perception check is going to see how clearly you see the new events you're seeing.
I got a 22.
Lord of mercy, already. So this area is very familiar. You've done this process before. Sometimes, every now and again, you will find yourself here. And this exercise is one of your more prominent fears. You fear the Mechana will return. They're gone now. The world has always been preparing in case they ever come back or something else. But you have always had this fear at the back of your head that the Mechana could always return. You're worried you'll never be able to properly stop them. And in this vision, you see just that. You're in a flattened, desolated area. The grass is burnt and shriveled up, the dirt scorched, and rock broken. You see cities in the background are destroyed. Their steel, titanium wire framing just showing, and their walls missing. Fire is still in many parts of the area, and black, smokish clouds are consuming the sky, closing off all the light. And you see portals again beginning to form, and Mechana shooting forward at them. And then you notice behind you silhouettes of people rushing forward to fight them. Some look like normal men with guns, others look like heroes, fighting desperately. But they constantly look like they're getting overpowered. The Mechana keep coming out faster, faster, and faster. You're looking around to try and study all this information. You're watching these silhouettes fall, scream out, their cries echoing into the night. And eventually one of the portals in the center opens wider, and you see a larger being leading these forces. He is a silhouette himself. You cannot see much. A large, powerful being, maybe almost 9 feet tall, clouded in large armor, rippling with muscle, and holding a large war axe to the side. In a perfect, almost pentagram type style, there are 5 holes in his weapon, with one in the center making 6. And you see 6 strange, colorful devices in them. You can't tell. It's all blurred. The silhouettes are beginning to surround you. The Mechana are moving faster. You see this being raise its war axe, and the Mechana rush forward even faster, as if they're answering to him. And then your eyes roll back, and you're back in the meditation room. How do you react? What do you do? The vision is gone.
Well, just based on what I saw, I'm probably breathing a bit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Sweat probably coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly confused about what the axe was. Why it had the holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell my master what I saw.
You tell him all of it?
Yeah.
He looks to you and says, "That is more than usual. How do you feel, Mason? Are you all right? Did the fear consume you as much?"
It wasn't much fear, just confused. I wasn't really sure what.
I see. And he just kind of looks around, and he's like, what does he say? He probably just kind of thinks to himself and just says, well, you're not panicked as much as you were before when we first tried this. I feel like you're doing very well beginning to conquer your fears. I'm proud of you, Mason. I very much am. Now, I do want to, like I said, I want to prepare you for this test. I want to make sure you know everything that you can. I want you to feel you're ready for this. Your test of fear, that was good. I wish we could have had more time to go over it. But we're crunched for it at the moment. Either way, Mason, your strength. You once told me that you wanted to have strength to give people hope. You wanted to have strength in case the Makana were ever to return. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you still feel this way?
I wouldn't be taking this last test if I wasn't.
Good answer. Now, this is something that's always puzzled me. I never wanted to ask you this, but I was, seeing as how we're here now, I feel it's appropriate. Mason, what made you want to be a hero? You came to us and you took me up on my offer because you wanted strength to do good with. You wanted to be a hero. What inspired you?
Inspired.
As you think about it, you begin to think back on what you felt might have inspired you. This is just one of the bigger events, but if you can think of anything else beyond this, I think Mr. Jackson would like to know. So, we flash back to Rising Phoenix. You think to him. You think of how he stood above you all, catching the bus and throwing it to the side. How his imposing size and aura of hope made you feel good. It felt strong. And it made you feel safe. After talking with you all, making sure you were okay, he grabbed you all and he took you off. And he got you out of the city. He brought you to a little refugee camp where a lot of the heroes and police and military that were trying to get people out of the city, he took you to this refugee area where there were many tents and such, where people were being worked on by doctors, checked up on. Some were being loaded into trucks and just being sent away from New York City as far as they could. And it was a very traumatic experience. You don't remember talking that much during the time. You saw a few heroes like Paragon going around and healing innocent people with their powers. He was one of the first icons. So that was kind of cool to see. But every now and again, you saw Rising Phoenix come back with just boatloads of people that he was carrying, dropping them off here gently. And he personally was going around and checking up on people. And Mason, as you're remembering back to this flashback, you look up to him and you remember he knelt down, put a hand on your shoulder and asked, Mason, how are you, boy? Are you okay? Smiling faintly. What did you say to him in that moment when you were 6, when you were younger? When he asked you if you were okay, what did you say to him, if anything?
I'm fine, but what's gonna happen now? What about my home?
Well, the wonderful people here, the people that look after us, you and me. He points to the soldiers and government officials. You don't entirely know what they are, but he's referring to the government. He says, they will most likely send you somewhere else with your mother and maybe your friend, and they'll try and give you a new home until they rebuild this one. I I know it's going to be tough, but you should focus on what you have now, Mason. You should try not to worry too much. I know that's asking a lot, considering and he just kind of looks back at the city, just covered in hellfire. That, but keep your chin up. Do you say anything to him? Do you want to tell him anything about anything that might be on your mind, anything that might worry you, or something like that? He's right here. He's taking the time just to check up on all the people that he saved and others that he didn't. It's up to you.
Thank you for saving me.
Hmm.
I never got the chance to say it. Thank you.
He stands up and he laughs triumphantly, smiling. No problem, young one. It was my pleasure. He notices that you're still a little shooken up, though. And he kind of thinks to himself. And you remember that he took a moment of just silence, like he was pondering something. And he melts down and says, hey, I don't think you'll have to worry about these monsters coming back. Me, the Archons, and all these other heroes, we'll make sure they don't. We'll make sure we'll protect those like you. He kind of ruffles your hair a little bit. He says one last thing. If you ever worry about them coming back, I want you to remember this. This is a saying I often tell myself when when I get worried. If you only look to your feet in the present, you'll miss the cliff that is your future. And if you only look to the cliff, you'll trip over your own feet. I don't expect you to know what it means, but hopefully one day it can maybe help you. I'm gonna go and save, hopefully other people. See who else I can find. Be good to your mother. I'm sure I'll see you again. He smiles. Do you wave goodbye? Do you say anything goodbye?
I'm gonna wave and I'm gonna say, Phoenix! One day I'm gonna be big and strong, just like you. And then I can save people like you do.
Oh, he laughs triumphantly again and goes, I'm sure you will, young one. And remember, may the phoenix burn bright! And he ignites himself in fire and he shoots up into the sky in a phoenix-like form. And you watch his bright aura shine as he flies back into the city, going to save more people. And then, as you finish remembering, you see Connor Jackson is still waiting there patiently. Do you want to roleplay with him? Do you want to tell him what inspired you? I'd like to hear from Mason.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Yeah, sure. I'm curious. What do you tell him? What inspired you? Oh, sorry. Go on.
It was right after New York got hit by the McKenna. It was Rising Phoenix. He saved me, and my mom, and my friend Alex. He took us to a shelter. I talked to him. He said I didn't have to worry about the mechanic coming back. The heroes would stop it. And I decided right then and there, I wanted to be a hero like he is. I would go around and I'd protect people that couldn't help themselves. And give them the same hope that he gave me.
Connor looks to you and he puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, "It's very sweet. And if you pass this training, I can assure you you'll be able to do that. The criminals of this world will fear you and I, and we will be able to bring hope. Here, come with me. Let's do a little bit of physical training, shall we? Let's make sure you're strong enough for the mission. Your test. I think...
All right, let's do it.
You're overly excited. You jump up and all that stuff. You shown an anime character. I love it. And he takes you out to the training ground. You go out here. You leave the meditation. You might be happy to be leaving it because, I mean, it does kind of show you fears at times, and it's never really been pleasant. But you begin to walk to the center garden area. It's also the training ground. In the middle, there's a beautiful statue of a Chinese dragon with water kind of running through it. You can kind of see the pipe mains. They haven't entirely repaired it yet. It's chipping a little bit. Moss has kind of eaten and grown to it, but it does look very pretty. And there are a few trees in the courtyard. There's a nice cobblestone ground to it. And you see a few other students with their teachers just practicing blocking and fencing with the sticks and staffs that they use. And Connor walks up to a barrel that has a bunch of them. He grabs one for himself, grabs another for you, and just tosses it over. Roll me coordination! Can you catch it? I'm curious. It's for goofs and gaffs. Will he fail?
28.
Damn it! He doesn't fail. You do a triple backflip and catch it with your big toe. And you land on the ground. You're just that awesome. But Connor looks to you and says, now, this is probably one of the most important parts. Let's make sure you've retained everything that I've taught you. All right? Now, ready your defensive stance? Roll me an intellect check. Let's see if you remember what the defensive stance is. What did you get, friendo? What is it, buddy?
22.
Oh! Okay, you remember it. So more or less, it's you put 1 foot behind you to kind of... You put 1 foot in front of you and 1 foot to the side, and you kind of turn your body to the side as well to balance out your weight. And you put 2 hands holding it tightly and firmly on the staff, and you just kind of place it in front of you. You don't really point it forward. You're kind of using it to block your body. And he looks to you and says, very good. I'm glad you remembered. All right. And he gets in a different stance. He gets in an offensive stance. He bends his knee forward. He's moving his other leg backwards to kind of support himself as well, but he is fully facing you, and his stick is pointed forward. Mason, I'd like you to roll initiative. You're going to spar with Connor. All right. Connor, what are your bonuses? Where did I write that down? Ah, there we go. All right, what'd you get?
Wait, what do I add anything to it or no?
Add your coordination bonus.
26.
Oh! All right. So with a 15, you go first. So, you have the insight to charge forward. Maybe he wants you to stay defensive. Maybe he doesn't. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to hold your position and wait for him to come to you, or do you want to go to him?
I'll go at him.
Okay.
Quickly duck to the side and try to get a hit in from there.
Okay, roll a coordination check.
Fuck. 11.
Oh, okay. That might not be. Hang on, let me check. Oh, 3. Yeah, you beat him. Yeah, you rush forward, your feet skipping very fast. He's surprised you took the initiative. He's about to swing, but before he can even flick his wrist, you've already ducked. Like you're prepared for his move. You slide on the ground and you lift yourself back up. Roll to hit. That will be a prowess check.
$15.
Okay, you duck under him, you slide, you jump up to the side, and where do you want to hit him? Do you want to whack his stick down? Do you want to whack him in the back?
I'll hit him in the side.
Okay, you're going to do a quick to the side. He rears back for a second like, ah, my shot. And it is now his turn. He twirls his staff around very quick, and he's about to try and whack you with it. So, Mason, I want you to roll a coordination check. Ooh, I'm going to roll one coordination check for him to make sure you hit, though I'm positive you do. Okay, yeah, you do. I forgot to... I've been playing D&D a little bit. I forgot that there's no AC in this game. So, you still hit him. What did you get for your coordination check to dodge?
23.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Can he hit you? Chair. Oh, I need more. Oh, Connor. That is very impressive. He got a 25. He twirls around, spins his bow staff very quickly, and he starts thwacking you on the face. You feel a little bruised, and roll a coordination check. Let's see if you can keep your footing.
10.
Okay, 10 is just enough to keep it. So you kind of rear back a little bit, you stumble a bit, but you're able to keep your ground. He looks to you and says, "I was a very good offensive, very good, but you need to prepare for every single one of my attacks. Every single counter I might have planned." Now, Mason, it's your turn again. What do you want to do? You two are just kind of standing facing each other off. Nobody's in a real position just yet.
Alright, I'm going to go for his leg and try to knock him off balance.
Ooh, smart. Okay. You rush forward, and you're going to roll a prowess check. I'm going to roll coordination to try and dodge. What'd you get?
17.
Ooh. Okay. That's with your bonus?
Yep.
Okay. So we got a natural 15, and with his bonus, that's going to be like a 21. So, you rush forward, you try to thwack his leg, but he basically flips to the side, and now that your turn is up, he's going to try and do the same. I want you to roll coordination check to dodge.
$24.
Nice work. You leap back as he swipes and misses desperately, and he goes, "You're very quick, you're very agile, but I want to see more offensive. Come on, keep coming at me, quickly." He's basically taunting you. He's like, "Come on, step up your game." It's your turn. What do you want to do, Mason?
First, I'm going to taunt back. First, I'm going to sass back at him and say, Didn't you teach me better than to fall for taunts like that? Come on, man. What are you doing?
Very smart, very smart. I'm just trying to prepare you for the real world. And he begins to rush to you, but it is still technically your turn. I'm just giving a cinematic look, because anime.
Alright, so I have a bow staff, right?
Yes, he does as well. Those are your only tools that you're allowed to use in the fight.
Alright. Can I use the staff to pole vault over him and go a high attack from the back?
Oh! Okay. So, You begin to rush forward. You grab your stick. You're about to pole vault. Roll a coordination check. Can you pull this off?
11.
Ooh, all right. What does fate say? I'm gonna roll dice. Ah! Fate says you tied. Roll again.
16.
Okay, I don't have to roll for that. That's enough. You grab it, you kick off with your feet, and you launch right over. He stops, looks. Since you're moving past him, he does get an attack of opportunity, because that's kind of how, RPGs work. But if he misses, it's still your turn, either way. Okay, no, he is not going to hit you. He got a 4. So you do not have to roll for that. So you land on the ground right behind him. He almost looks like he tries to thwack you, but you're already gone by the time he does it. Mason, would you like to thwack him in the back?
Yep.
All right, roll prowess.
18.
Let's make sure. Oh! Okay. I'm glad I rolled. I should be rolling 100% of the time, but sometimes I feel like you just get it either way. So, you are about to whack him, but he is able to duck right under your staff. And since this would be the end of your turn, we're going straight to him. As he's mid-duck, he's going to try and kick you to the ground. All right. Roll to dodge. Coordination.
What was that again? All right.
Mm-hmm.
28!
Oh, okay, wait, what was your natural number?
20?
Crap. He got a 19. He was 1 off. So, he rushes forward. He's about to whack you, but you are not going to let him have this. You flip out of the way. It is basically a game of watching monkeys dance at this point. And you just skid to the side, and it is now your turn as he clearly misses. He is mid-air, and if he doesn't catch himself, he will fall to the ground. What do you want to do, Mason? In this split millisecond, what do you want to try and do?
I'm going to try to whack him out of the air.
Alrighty. Roll prowess to hit.
Yay! 24.
Oh dear. Connor. Oh, Connor! You, after dodging to the side, skidding on the ground, you grab your bow staff, you kick off, and you raise it into the air, and whoop, you crack him in the back, and he slams to the ground. He's down. He rolls to the side, is like, oh, good hit, good hit. Ah, oh. I can't wait to see you in action when you use them against the criminals of the streets. I will be running in fear from you. Ah, do you want to help him up? Because it looks like that really hurt.
Yeah, I'll give him a hand.
Yeah, you stretch out your hand, he grabs it, holds it tight, and he pulls you up. Or you pull him up. And he grabs your bow staff and is like, very good, Mason. Very good. Just give me a moment. And he kind of hobbles over to the barrel, places them in, and just kind of says, here, follow me. And you guys kind of walk out of the training ground garden area. Where you walk to, you find yourself outside. You're sitting on the steps of the temple. You're kind of just relaxing, taking a break for a moment. The wind of the mountaintop blows through your hair. The cold breeze is very refreshing, but you are wearing a jacket. A jacket Connor gave you when he first met you. It keeps you warm, and it looks pretty damn cool. And Connor, just kind of sitting on the steps taking a break before the final test, is, I remember when I gave you that jacket. You had such fire. Still do, absolutely. I could see that in our training session. Do you remember?
I do. I remember like it was yesterday.
We'll do another flashback, because I like those. They're fun. You remember back very warmly to when you first met Connor. So, it's a rainy night. You didn't bring an umbrella because by the time you went outside, you were just kind of like, I mean, it probably won't rain by the time I went back. You're in the convenience store. It started raining. It's pouring down heavy, but you're like, all right, it doesn't matter. I'll have to head out. You're kind of grabbing just some food from the store to bring back to the apartment where you and your mom are currently residing. You are living in the world capital city. The world capital city has been your home for, you were 6 when New York burned. It took a little bit of time to build, so you've been staying here for roughly 5-ish years. And it's treated you well. It's an absolutely beautiful city. The United Nations and many nations that weren't a part of it, just people around the world, private organizations, heroes, they all came together to build a testament to human power, to show the Mechana or anyone else that we can come together and we can do powerful things. The city is very visible from space, and just shines so brightly in the night. It is absolutely beautiful. The architecture is like a mixture of almost every culture. It's almost a fusion just to show that humanity has met up here. And many people have called it the home of the United Nations. It's an international city where anyone can really go to it. And after the devastation of New York City, many of the residents of New York were sent here once this project was completed. And you're kind of just here, you're picking up groceries. The convenience store man, he recognizes you. You were maybe 14 at the time. And you kind of grab your supplies and you walk out in the rain and you begin to head home. It's not terribly far. As you're walking through the puddle-filled streets, or sidewalk, because that's jaywalking, Mason, we don't do that. I want you to roll me a awareness check. Or an awareness check.
15.
Ooh, okay. As you're walking, you hear a distant, "Help, please! Somebody help!" And it's a little muddled from the rain, but you're able to hear it. It feels like it's a few alleyways ahead. Do you want to go to it?
Of course.
Okay. Are you walking there or are you running there?
I'm going to run.
Okay. Do you still have the groceries in your hands or place them down or drop them? What are you going to do?
I still have them in my hand.
Okay. You run with them.
Making money on that. Get rid of them.
You grab a piece of toast. You put them in your mouth. You run. No, this isn't for school. You take it out. You put it back in the bag. You make it there. You turn the corner and you see the alleyway. There's basically 2 pretty rough-looking guys basically mugging this poor woman in the alleyway. It seems like she was walking through here as like a type of shortcut, because that's what a lot of people do in this big city. It's not really walled off by places like it is in New York. It's just kind of open. So it's a nice little shortcut. But it's dark. and a cliche for crime, so John's using it. Yeah, this woman is getting mugged. She's being held at gunpoint. They're trying to take her purse, her wallet, her pearls, all that stuff, everything she has on. And they haven't noticed you yet. She hasn't noticed you yet. You stand at the end of the alleyway. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna start running up, throw the bag at one of them, and then jump and hit the other one.
Alrighty. Now, you do have your peculiarity at this power, just so you know. Roll me... They haven't noticed you yet, so we don't have to roll initiative just yet. Roll me a coordination check to throw the groceries at one of the dudes. Throw the eggs. Throw the...
14.
What? Oh, you beat him by 2. You got a 12. So, you throw the groceries, they slam at the back of his head, the eggs splatter all over him, the milk is just, oh God! He lands on the ground like, oh, sweet Jesus! Oh, it's soy milk! Oh, even worse! And his friend turns around and he sees you running. Because he didn't notice you, I'm going to say you can still get the jump on him. Roll me a coordination check to leap onto him.
$17.
Oh, 10. All right. Yeah. You jump. You leap forward like a velociraptor, and you land on the back of. I'll give you a minor action. Do you want to do anything else?
I'm guessing I can't attack still, so...
You can prepare to attack. You can like maybe charge up a power if you wanted to. You can maybe begin to try and strangle him and make him go unconscious.
I'm just gonna make him try to lose balance.
Okay. Let's see. Roll a strength check. You're going to roll an opposing strength check against him to kind of shift your weight around. And this dice is average. It's not too bad. What'd you get?
22.
Okay, yeah, you beat him by a landslide. Yeah, you're shaking him around and he's stumbling. Now I want you to roll initiative. So roll a d20, add your coordination bonus, and we'll see who goes first. Oh, come on, guys. You know what? I'll roll for the other guy. We'll roll individually. Oh, I knew my random street thugs were terrible. Okay, you got an 11?
Yep.
So with a natural 1 and a natural 6, you want to perform an action on the guy you're on? He can't do anything. He's just, get him off me! Get him off!
Alright. I am going to... So I'm on his back right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, speaking is a free action as well. Just so you know. But go on.
So I'm on his back. Sure.
You're on his back. Your arms are kind of around his neck to brace. And your legs are like on his hips. You're like a little baby gorilla on top of a really big gorilla. So
right,
I'll let you think about what you want.
I'm gonna hop off his back.
Okay.
To the side of him to push him into a wall.
Okay, so you want to leap off his back and try and kick him into the wall or punch him? Or shove him?
I was gonna, the shove from, like, me jumping off. So, like, the way I get off, it kind of pushes him into the wall. Not really as, like, an attack, just as, like, a means of...
Getting him away?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll a coordination check. Let's make sure you fumble when you land.
$24.
All right. Now roll an opposing strength check.
Watch, this is gonna be a natural one, I swear.
Please be. Please, please, please.
John, I'm sorry.
What'd you get?
19.
Ah! He got an 18! Are you kidding me? This is evil! I am the god of this world! Sorry! Oh, it doesn't matter. Alright, fine. You push him. He stumbles back. Since it was so close, it's not as far as you'd like, but you still pushed him away enough so that way mechanically he'll take a second to recuperate. You kind of push him back into the wall. He just goes, oh. And this guy, the guy you pushed, he got a 1, so he's going last. It's the end of your turn now, and the guy you threw your everything at, he stands up, and he's going to try and grapple you. So roll an opposing strength check. What's he gonna get?
21.
Okay. With a 26, he rises up, locks his arm around your neck, and begins to pull you back into the air. You're kind of resting on his gut. Your feet are now dangling, and he's trying to choke you out. You feel your breath beginning to leave you just a little bit. The woman looks to you in terror, doesn't know what to do. The other guy, the guy who pushed into the wall, he's going to spend his turn recuperating as the guy trying to choke you out is like, hey, bud, come here, help me out. And Mason, it's now your turn.
All right. I'm just going to kick this dude square in the nose.
Oh. All right. Roll a prowess check. Or no, roll a strength check. And then a prowess check. So what'd you get for strength?
22.
Okay, he got a 10. So yeah, you're going to beat him. Roll a prowess check to hit him.
12.
Roll again, he matched you.
$23.
Alright, so with the 12 again. You basically, you use your strength to free yourself just enough so that way you can move a bit, and you flick yourself back up, and you kick him in the nose. Or, excuse me, not just the nose, basically the whole face. He lets go and just goes, ow, my mug! How am I going to pick up the chicks with a broken mug? And he's just kind of fumbling around like, ah!
You should have thought of that beforehand, you bastard!
So this guy is going to spend his turn basically recuperating, the guy you kicked. And then the guy with the natural 1, he recovers from your push. And behind you, you hear click, click. And you look and you see he's pulled out a gun, the one that he was using on the woman. And he says, all right, that's enough! I want you on your knees. What do you do, Mason? I'll give you 10 seconds to think of something. So that way we can keep in the speed of things. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm going to charge and continuously dodge.
Alright, you want to try and charge at him. Okay.
But I want to keep myself moving so he can't, really aim.
Sure. Roll a coordination check, because it's going to be your turn again, because he's just kind of spending his turn just pointing the gun at you. So roll a coordination check. He's going to roll one as well. Oh!
11.
So with a 3, you rush forward. You basically duck under his gun, all that stuff, and you just basically get out of the way of him, and you try to run up to him. You're right up and close to him. And then I want you to roll me an awareness check.
John, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
I'm scared.
You should be. Excuse me.
12.
A 12, eh? Okay. That makes me happy.
I'm about to die. I'm about to straight up die. Shit.
You see the woman breaks form and she turns into Cthulhu. Actually, it's not as bad as you think. Or maybe it is. As you're running forward, something catches your eyes. You see movement at the rooftops above. You look up and you see a shadowy figure with a long cape. Though he looks shorter and like he's on all fours, he's just kind of running across them. And he perches himself on the edge. And it looks like he's about to jump down on you guys. Is this a hero? You don't know. The shadows are kind of consuming him. What do you do, Mason? Because it's still your turn.
What I'm going to do right now
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to try to get the gun out of the guy's hand and just throw it out of the alleyway.
And throw it out of the alleyway? Okay. Roll prowess to try and grab it.
Like that second I got saved. 21!
Ooh! Now roll a strength check to wrestle it out of his hand. I already rolled for him. Yeah!
15.
Oh. You grab it and roll a coordination check. Let's see how far you can fling it. If you get a 1, it's gonna like drop to the ground.
24.
Whoa! It goes flying. There's like a guy walking in the street normally and just whizzes over his head. He's like, ah! 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 He just runs away. Yeah, you fling it into the next alleyway. It's gone. But now these two guys, it's just fist versus fist. Now, you noticed this whole thing go down. The woman has officially grabbed her supplies and just screams thank you as she books it. And do you want to scream anything back to her?
You're welcome, but could you please call the police?
Oh yeah, I will! You see her fumbling through her back, just trying to grab a phone. She is very shooken up. But the shadowy figure moves. He jumps, he leaps, he begins to rush forward, and he lands on the guy you're fighting with. And you hear what sounds like a skewering as the blades kind of go into this guy's back, and he just goes back and is like, ah! He lands on the ground with a thud, and the shadowy figure rips out what looks like makeshift claws. The other guy looks, he's like, oh no, I don't want any part of this! And he just runs. Oh yeah, he runs. He leaves his friend dead in the alleyway and he books it.
Hey, wait! Get back here!
The shadowy figure raises his arm and just puts it in front of you and says, no, do not worry about it. We'll catch him one day. Or the police. Criminal's time and never forever. He drops his arm. He lowers his hood and mask and all that. He looks to you and says, "It was very brave what you did. You took them both on when they were armed and you were outmanned. It was very brave. Maybe foolish, but brave as well." And as you're back to these good memories, when Connor Jackson was asking if you remember when they first met, this is how you met him. Connor Jackson leaped down, skewered one of the guys, and the other one just kind of booked it. He looks to you and your memories, and you just kind of go, "My name's Connor Jackson." And he holds out a hand for you to shake.
Shake his hand.
You shake his hand. It's a little stained from the blood. It very much puts you off, but he seems friendly enough. He retracts the little blades, and he just kind of goes, "You know, someone should teach you how to control that power of yours. Teach you how to use it more properly. Have you ever thought about being a hero? Or standing up for what's right in a more professionalized way? Rather than throwing eggs and milk at your opponents." Looks to the just flattened bag of groceries.
Oh, damn it! Mom's gonna kill me! Open.
He looks to you and says, "Don't fret." And he actually pulls out like $30 and he hands it to you.
Thank you. Yes. I didn't really need 30. It didn't cost that much.
Oh, well, here, give me some back. He takes a little bit back. He looks to you and goes, "Heroes should be rewarded. They should be rewarded for their good deeds. Well, criminals," looks to the body, "should be punished." Either way, have you ever thought about being a hero? Definitely have the spirit for it.
Of course, I think most kids my age have.
And let me... Here. He pulls out a card and hands it to you. You take it and look at it, and it talks of the temple. It talks of the temple, its location, and all that stuff, and a phone number. He says, "I work at a temple. A few provinces down, but we teach young aspiring students how to be heroes, how to use their powers, and how to become stronger, and instill hope in those who have none. From what I've seen, you show great power. I would love to be able to mold that into something more. I can tell you have the heart of what a hero is. Should consider giving me a call sometime." And yeah, just kind of looks to you and smiles. How do you respond?
Will do.
And it's very much pouring rain, and he looks, "I don't suppose you have an umbrella. You know what? Here." And he takes off his coat and says, "I don't really need it. I have my cloak anyways." And he tosses you a jacket. He says, "It'll keep you warm and dry for the most part."
Oh, thank you.
Don't mention it. Or do. Either way. And he begins to kind of climb up the wall. You see his come back out, and he just kind of climbs back up the wall. And he says, "I'm sure I'll see you again. Take it easy, and I hope you make it home safe. These streets have become more dangerous." And he crawls up the wall, and he just leaps away. And now you remember your memories ending with you wearing the coat, staring at the card in the rain. And that was when you began to make your decision about truly taking the steps to become a hero. And now you're back sitting on the steps of the temple in front of it. He kind of looks at you and says, I can see you were remembering it fondly, I assume.
Yeah. It was a pretty eventful day, to say the least.
Mason, you were probably one of my most favorite students I've ever taught. Definitely the one with the most promise. You have such a fire in you, such power. And I know you'll do good things with it. With us at the helm, I know that you will be able to do great things.
I promise. I won't let you down.
I know you won't. He smiles a little devilishly, but in a fun manner. And he stands up and says, all right. Cracks his back. I think I'm better now. How about we get on with that final test of yours? And we truly cement you being a member. And he holds out his hand for you to grab and lift up the step.
That sounds great, but after I woke up, still kind of hungry. We did just train. We grab some food first?
In all the hustle, I almost forgot. Let's do that. And he begins to walk you to the cafeteria. And now, if you want to roleplay with him, you totally can. If not, I'm just going to say you enjoy your. It's very nice. You eat, and then you prepare for your final test. Do you want to RP?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Yeah, I will.
Okay, sure. It's totally up to you.
Hey, about the final test.
Oh, yes.
What exactly is on it? What exactly am I doing?
I can't tell you that. I can't exactly tell you what your test will be about. I know what it will be, but typically what the temple likes us to do is keep it a mystery so that way you can't get an unfair advantage. In real life, they believe you never get that advantage. You never know what's to come. You should always be worried. You should always be prepared. You should always fear what will be coming. And so, by having you not know what is happening, that is the best way we prepare you for this, is by leaving you in the dark. I'm sorry, I wish I could tell, but I want to make sure you pass this properly.
Okay, well, maybe you just don't know.
Mm. Well, is there anything else you want to talk to him about?
No, that was about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys share. And then we cut to a little bit later in the day. Connor has been walking alongside you. He's dressed you up in the garb that their members kind of wear. It's like robes with a little bit of armor and stuff like that. And the designs and symbols of the house, the temple. And you begin to hear the chanting of the other students and the teachers. It's in the garden, the courtyard where you sparred with Connor. Excuse me. And yeah, he just kind of looks to you and says, now, I know you can do this. I know you're prepared. By doing this test, by completing it, it will show you are one of us and you are ready to do what is absolutely necessary in order to keep hope for the greater good. He pats you on the back and he kind of walks you forward. And you enter into the garden area. You see all the other students, the teachers kind of set up. They're chanting for you, calling your name, all that stuff. And Connor walks out. He looks to you. He tells you to wait there and says, Mason, what's your character's last name again? Did we come up with that?
We did not.
Okay. Mason, insert last name here. He was one of our newest members and one of our brightest pupils. And today, he will be completing his final test, and he shall be a true member and be able to bring hope to those who have none. Let's give him a hand. And they all clap. Bring out the test. He looks to you, he smiles, and he kind of takes a few steps back. He's very clear. He's not too far away from you. You see a few guards. They kind of have swords and a pistol to the side of their hip, and they're walking something out. The people, their chants get a bit louder and louder and louder, and then they settle as it's revealed what your test is. The soldiers come out and roll a perception check.
Second.
What's up?
So what is that again? That's
An awareness check, sorry. I keep calling it perception.
15.
15, eh? Well, with that, as you prepare for what might be a beast or a drug-induced trip where it's all mental and you have to prepare for it, no. You hear crying, a soft sobbing. The guards walk forward, they open up, and they drop in front of you a sniveling man. He has raggedy peasant clothes on, torn up pants, no shoes. He looks filthy, and he looks bruised and beaten a bit. And they drop him to the ground. He has handcuffs on, and he just looks to you. And one of the guards screams to him, "Head down!" And they shove it down, and he's just weeping to himself. Connor walks up to you. He grabs one of the swords that the man has, walks up to you, and he tries to hand it to you. What do you do? How do you react?
I just start to walk back a little bit.
Mason?
What the hell?
Mason,
Connor, what is this?
it's your final test.
Who is that man, Connor? Who is he?
A filthy criminal. He was a murderer. He went into a village in a nearby province, killed a man for sleeping with his wife, then killed his wife, and proceeded to cover up all lies until our people found him. We brought him in here, and we felt he was the perfect test. Every one of our students and teachers that have graduated have ended the life swiftly and humanely of all criminals we bring in. They don't deserve your mercy, Mason. Do what must be done, and join us and bring hope to others.
But, Connor, I thought we were supposed to be heroes. We can help enforce law, but we're not supposed to go beyond it. We can't just kill this man. He has another trial.
It's clear that that system has failed, Mason. Have you seen these heroes? They work time and day, 24/7, never a break in their lives, because they are always chasing after criminals. They are always trying to take them down, and never once do they feel that their work is complete. They bring them in, they lock them away, they escape, or someone else commits a crime. The kindness, mercy, and weakness of modern society and heroes has failed us. Criminals feel no repercussions for their actions, and they must be taught a lesson. We want to bring hope to those who've lost them. People like this filth, he kind of kicks him in the leg. People like him, they make people lose hope. Think about it. Every time you've heard of something on the news, a new school shooting, a new terrorist attack, doesn't it make you feel darker? Doesn't it make you feel this world has lost another ounce of hope? What if we killed all these criminals before they had the chance to do that? Before they had a chance to weaken our hope? What if we were able to preserve it, Mason, and create a world where people could live happy and not have to worry about the darkness that lies within it? We are that answer, and you have that passion. You have that fire. You can do this. And he hands the sword out to you again. Please, Mason.
I look down.
Okay.
Just look at the sword. Look at my Connor. This isn't right. You know it's not right. We can't just go around killing anyone we please. How does that make us any different from any criminal out there?
It makes us different because we are doing this for the greater good. They are doing it for selfish purposes. Why did you murder your wife? You could have let her be happy. You could have reported her to the police and all that. You could have done what a normal person would do, but no, you decided to take action yourself and in a selfish manner kill the one that she chose over you and herself. You are a murderer. You felt you had the right to take a human life for no reason. We are taking them for the greater good. You took them for a selfish purpose. Mason, how can you not see what we see?
Connor, you can't give people hope spilling blood. All that will do is scare them. Heroes exist. Rising Phoenix exists to give people a hope through his actions. He saves them. He stops the villains time and time again because he wants to keep giving them hope.
And what happens when Rising Phoenix can't do that anymore? What happens when he faces that threat, that last threat that will finally take him down, just like any other hero? What happens when that last villain finally takes away his breath?
That someone else will rise to the occasion. Someone else will do it.
But the hope
That's
will
what the
leave
icons
them.
are there for, Connor.
The icons are a tool. Mason, you know there's no way out of this. You do this now, and you become one of us. Or you're no better than them, letting them run free. Please, Mason. If not for me, for your mother. For Rising Phoenix. For your friend Alex Albright. Do it for them. And he walks over to you fully, and he places the sword in your hand, and he lets go. You can practically feel the blood and lives that this blade has taken. It is beautiful, so well carved, decorated, and painted, and yet you feel as though you can hear the screams of 1,000 souls as you bear it. What do you do, Mason? The man looks up to you, sniveling. They knock his head back down, baring his neck.
Connor.
He looks to you.
I won't let you use the name of my mother, Rising Phoenix, or Alex to try to make me justify murder. Find yourself another pawn. I'm gonna throw the sword to the side. I'm gonna go pick up the man. I'm leaving, Connor. I'm not coming back.
You throw the sword and you go to pick up the criminal?
Yep.
He looks to you. You throw the sword on the ground. You hear an audible gasp from the people around, and you walk up to the criminal. You grab him. He looks to you with mercy and just not mercy. He looks to you and feels your mercy. He is so thankful. And you begin to walk out with him, your back turned, and then you hear shing, and you feel a blade gently poking your back. And he looks to you and says, Mason, you were my brightest pupil, the strongest among us. I can't let you leave this temple. And especially with that monster. So, Mason, what exactly do you want to do in this situation? Do you want to fight Connor? There's a lot of people, and you see and you hear them beginning to pull out swords. Do you want to try and stop them? Do you want to book it, slam the doors behind them, lock them? Do you want to try and knock down part of the wall if you can? Do you want to distract them? What do you want to do? I won't time you on this unless it gets absurdly long. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna spin quick to get Connor away, and then I'm gonna book it out of there with the man. But first, I want to say something. Connor, as far as I'm concerned, the only monsters here are you! And that's what I'm gonna do.
You want it? Okay, so describe to me again what you wanted to do. Just mechanically speaking.
I'm gonna spin quick to try and get Connor off of me.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna book it with the man.
Okay, roll initiative first. Add your coordination.
Fuck. 9.
As I'm realizing this, the initiative roll probably didn't matter too much in the short term because he's waiting for you to react. So he's just holding his ground. So I will let you do your action. This is in case the fight goes on longer. So you want to spin around, try and disarm him. Roll a coordination check. Tell me what you get. And then I'll have you roll another thing.
There we go. 27.
27. Okay. You turn around. You basically disarm and roll a prowess check to make sure he drops the sword. And you kind of push him away. So that way you can run.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you push him. You fling the sword to the ground. Roll a coordination check to just book it. And a strength check to make sure you've got the guy in your arms nice and secure.
Which one first?
Which one do you want to do first? Coordination?
Strength.
Okay.
Alright, so for that, I got a 15.
Nice. Okay, you're going to hold on to this guy very well.
27 for the coordination.
You book it. You turn around. You kick the sword to the ground. You grab the criminal and you book it. You run out of the garden and he screams, Mason! And you just run. Now then, do you want to try and slam the doors behind you? As
How
like
big are the
blockades.
doors?
You want to do what to the doors?
How big are the doors?
They're not too big. They're like the size of, I don't know, a bedroom door. But they're kind of made of stone and wood. Though you do have an element of super strength, so it's probably not going to be that difficult.
I'll shove him real quick.
Okay. Roll just a really quick strength check.
17.
Okay. You slam them shut. You run forward. There's another pair of doors. You grab those. And there's one more. You run out. These are the main doors. You hear the distant screaming. Just, Mason! And you run out. You slam that door shut, and you book it out of the temple. You run, you run, you run. Now, typically what they do to get here is, since this is a more traditional province in China, they usually have horses that they get around on. Do you want to keep running down the path? Do you want to slide down the mountain? Or do you want to try and take a horse?
Horse is probably the coolest one, but... So my options are slide down the mountain, keep on the path, or...
Ride a horse out of here. Or if you can think of another option and suggest it to me, then sure.
Just to make sure that I have
punch
enough...
the ground.
No, thinking about the story here, just to make sure I have enough stamina in case I do get in a fight, I'll take the horse.
Okay, sure. You run up, you hop on the horse. It's very calm to you. You throw the criminal behind you or in front of you?
In front.
Okay. You unhook the horse, you begin to trot off, and as you look behind you, you see Connor opens up the doors, looks, and he doesn't look angry anymore. He looks disappointed, like he has sorrow in his eyes. And you ride off as quickly as you can. It doesn't look like they're chasing after you. They're just watching, and you ride off down the mountain. So Mason, you just barely escape. Before I take you to the next big scene, what do you want to do with the criminal? Because I actually didn't expect you to take him, so what do you want to do?
What do you think I was going to do? Just leave him there to die? Damn!
Oh, I thought you were just going to book it. I thought you were going to do the Batman loophole where it's like, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. I thought you were going to do that.
What I'm going to do... Probably... Well, I'm assuming the closest police station is probably run by them, or at least in ties with them.
Their influence probably spans a fair amount of this place.
So I probably shouldn't take them there. I'll keep them with me for a bit just to get them like out of that province.
Okay.
And then leave them at a police station.
Okay. You keep riding, and eventually you make it to traditional areas, built up suburbs, and then some low cities. And you run him over to a police station. He looks to you, and considering that the world capital city which is where you live currently, and you've been training here for a little bit, you've been here in this area for maybe a total of 5 or 6 years-ish. So you probably know a decent amount of Mandarin Chinese. So you hear this guy, and he just looks to you and he says, "Thank you. Thank you." As the police begin to take him away. Do you say anything to him, or do you just stare on horseback?
I'll just stare.
Okay. Now then, what do you want to do with the horse? Because the way you plan to get home is taking an airplane. You're in a place where there's an airport. You can see it. What do you want to do with the horse?
So take him to the nearest forest and just let him go.
Okay. You're coming on the plane with me. You begin to walk him over the horse. You take off the saddle. You let go. You just gently rest them. It kind of walks up to you. It rubs its head against you, and it rides off into the woods. And now you begin to walk up the hill. You make your way to the airport. You're very silent. You don't really talk with too many people. You just can't believe that happened. You're in absolute shock. You get on the plane, a direct ticket to the world capital city, and you fly off. The plane eventually lands. Your mother calls you up, and she's like, "Hi, Mason. How was the whole summer camp thing? Your final test was today, right?"
And I'm
What
coming
do you say?
home. I'm actually
Oh,
just landed.
oh my gosh. Okay. Do you want me to drive to the airport and pick you up?
No, I'll make it home.
Are you sure, sweetheart?
Yeah, I need a little time.
Oh, oh, okay. I understand. If you want to talk about it, I'll be at home. I do have something to show you that's rather exciting. Um, I'll see you when you get here. I love you.
Sure thing, Mom. Love you too.
She hangs up. You walk out the airport. You have your luggage. Mason, here's a question. You wore Connor's jacket that he gave you when it rained. You wore it before you knew who he was. It doesn't have any emblems or marks of their society. It's just a jacket. What do you want to do with it?
I'm gonna hold on to it to remember the Connor that was my friend and teacher, not the one I know is a murderer.
You can't tell, but I'm grinning ear to ear. Oh, I might be a sociopath. Either way, so
Dude, you Jake Paul?
no, I'm um uh insert joke here. Have funny. I'm a comedian. Either way, you land in the city and you begin to walk home. You're not running, you're not jogging, you're just taking it nice and slow. So you're walking. It's very bright out. It's a beautiful sunny day. Uh, and you're just having time to reflect. As you're walking, why don't you tell me what's going through Mason's mind? What are you exactly thinking?
Sad, everything happens. I'm just trying to process everything.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, I thought me and him were gonna keep people safe. We were gonna give people hope. What am I? He was, he was everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I'm just kind of lost.
Yeah, that's what's going through your head. Roll me an awareness check.
17.
Ooh, lovely. Okay. Um, you are walking down the sidewalk, and your ears perk up as you look over, and you see in the rough center of the city, it's like a lovely park area, but right next to the park is an incredibly beautiful building. It looks Roman in architecture. Um, It is known as the Defense Capitol Building, and this is the main headquarters. It's like the Pentagon but of this city. And in front of it is a weapons show by a private organization that you and many people know as Acid. And Acid is showing weapons, and you see one guy up there be like, "Behold, the hover tank." This is what John can think of on the spot for fun weapons. Um, he's like, "This thing doesn't need wheels, so there's no friction. It'll be nice and fast that we can use to defend ourselves in case the Mechana or anything else comes back to threaten us. And this is our pride and joy, the electromagnetic bomb. This one is a little bit different. Most weapons, right when you detonate them, the magnetic pulse goes off, and that's it. But this one, you can turn on, and you see the lights in the surrounding area just dim down. And you can turn it off, and as he turns it off, they come back on. It's kind of something you don't really care to see, you don't really want to see. You're definitely not in the mood. You don't need to be reminded of the Mechana right now. But Acid has really been capitalizing on the idea of, hey, the Mechana could come back, so let's advertise military tech for it. And so that's kind of what they've been doing. You turn your head, though, and you keep walking. Unless you want to go to the weapon show, though I assume not.
I'll just keep walking.
Yeah, I had the feeling. Eventually, after maybe an hour and a half, you make it to your apartment building. You take the elevator, or you walk inside. You see the lobby owner, the manager, just in the lobby. He looks to you. He's like, "Mason, you're back. How was the whole camp for hero training?"
It's pretty fun.
"Oh, well, that's great to hear. You seem a bit down, bud. You okay?"
Yeah, I'm just tired. Really rough day.
"Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Oh, well, you go get some rest. Take it easy, bud."
Thank you.
You make your way to the elevator. You turn it on, you hop inside, and you make your way to near the top floor. It's kind of level, we'll go 9. You're on floor 9. It's near the top. You make your way up through the hallway. You go to your room, pull out your key, you unlock it, and you see your mom is sitting on the couch watching the news. She turns around, sees the door open, and she's like, "Hey, there's my young man. Are you feeling any better, sweetheart? Did the walk help you?" He says you shut the door.
Yeah, Mom, it helped a bit. So she could walk.
"Oh, well, that's good to hear. Hey, I wanted to show you something." And you look around and you see there's just boxes and boxes of crap. Just random supplies, a ton of stuff cluttering up the apartment. And she says, "So, while you were gone, I was talking with a few of my friends. We came up with an idea. We want to throw a type of gathering, celebration party for the people of New York City that survived the attack and are living here now. Many of us are struggling to find jobs here, pay the rent, and all that. And, well, me and my friends, we had an idea to brighten their spirits and have a party to just celebrate us and show that things are going to get better." And we bought a bunch of decorations. We're having trouble. I mean, it's for the best. It's for people, and I feel like they deserve it. She just kind of shows you a bunch of the supplies. She then looks to you and she goes, "I was wondering, since you went to that hero school to learn about hope and all that, you wanted to take initiative and action. Well, I wanted to ask you, sweetheart, would you mind giving a quick little speech at the party?" It doesn't have to be that long, just a few sentences. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I think it'd be nice if the guests could hear you speak from the heart about how times are getting better and how we're all one big family and how we're going to work together. What do you say to her?
I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd be the. If I'd be.
Oh, what did you say? Cut out a bit.
I don't know if I'd be the best speech.
Oh, well, here, why don't you give a little bit of time to think about it, okay? Because I really appreciate it if you could. You have every time you walk in, you always put a smile on my face and many others. I think people need that. But like I said, take all the time you need. And she kind of goes back over to the TV. She looks at it and she's like, "Oh dear God, not again." You look over to it and roll a perception check.
Was that awareness?
Roll an awareness check. Sorry.
How dare you?
I'm gonna keep calling it awareness or perception. It's gonna flip flop.
8.
That's fine. It's mainly just to, I don't know, bring your attention over to the TV. You kind of look over with your mom, and she's like, "Things have gotten so terrible. You see, this is why I want to throw this party. Ever since people immigrated from New York City to here after the attack, people have been struggling to find jobs. Crime is at an all-time high here. People are just trying to provide for their families, but things are worse than ever. Rising Phoenix comes in every now and again, and you help out, but he's just one man. Just wish someone would take up the mantle and try and help out this city. Here, don't let me distract you. Here, you can go if you want, sweetheart."
Probably gonna go to bed now.
Okay. Okay. Good night.
Yeah, Mom.
You
Glad
go
to
over
be
to
back.
your... Oh, what's up?
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back too. And you walk over to your room. And you just kind of drop your stuff down. And before you go to bed, you kind of look out the window. And you think about what your mom said and what Connor said. How Connor said he wants to cleanse more of this world. He wants to give people hope and just execute these criminals and more. Mom wishing that someone would rise up and do something about this influx in crime. Mason, you stare out the window and think about this idea. And some thoughts really begin to emerge. Mason, what are you thinking about as you stare out the window when these words and sentences are flowing through your head?
Help, but
What's
not a
up?
hero. I can't. People need help, but I just do. Can I do?
Your mom's words echo through your head again. Someone needs to stand up. Someone needs to rise up. You feel the amount of darkness that can be in this world. You feel kind of just how there can be a lot of despair. And if they had a constant symbol of hope, someone that could be here, someone that had the strength to rise up to that, then you start to think about what Connor said about you, how you have that strength, and what your mom said about you, and how you have that strength, and what Rising Phoenix said about you when you were just a little kid, and how you have that strength. And then you remember little 6-year-old you saying, When I grow up, I'm going to be big and strong, just like you, and be a hero. And those last words echo through your head as you stare into the lit up city. Mason, what do you do?
And just promise myself. Promise Phoenix too. Promised everyone. Still have ways to go, but I am. He does need one. That's what I'm gonna do.
What are you going to do, Mason? Say it to me. Say it.
If our city is a symbol of hope, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work even. I'm gonna work even harder. I'm gonna get even stronger. And then the city will have hope. We'll have a symbol. It won't just be Phoenix having to keep everyone safe. I know he can't get around it. So I'll work. I'll give it my all. I'll become our new number one.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And with that, you pass out and fall asleep. It was a very long day, and you were a very boy, as Cole would say. But, Mason, a few days go past. We're kind of time lapsing here. You've been giving it a lot of thought. This hero, this symbol of peace, this hope. Mason, you've been thinking that maybe you can act on it now. Maybe you should go out to maybe more professional schools and get trained and, truly become a hero and get a license. But for now, you think the city needs that symbol. So I ask you this, Mason. Do you want to begin to design a suit, something to wear, to take your first steps as that symbol and try and make this city a better place? Do you want to
for now?
here?
I think for now I should focus on getting strong. I think I'll
Okay.
start training.
How do you want to train? What's your idea of training?
Let's start off just some basics like, running a good bit every day. Make sure I'm doing basic exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. You begin to do those push-ups and sit-ups. You're running around, all that. You're kind of doing the Rocky thing where, like, you're running up the stairs to a library, back down. You're doing a punching bag. Your mom notices that you've been training a lot more, and she kind of points it out every now and again, like at breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever. She's like, my God, Mason, you're getting a lot more toned. What are you doing, kid?
Oh, I'm just trying to get a bit stronger, Thinking about going to hero school.
Again? I mean, sure, but
Yeah, but this time like professional one, Like just a really good school.
well, I mean, I can start looking up things online to see what we can do with that. But yeah, no, that sounds great. And you smile. You continue to train. You do heroic work and things of that nature. Or not heroic work exactly. Heroic steps that will bring you there. You, yeah, like I said, in this little montage, you spend a lot of bit of time. A lot of bit of time. I'm drunk. You spend a lot of time just training and all that stuff, and you notice a significant change. And then, Mason, one day, you're walking to a convenience store, the same one you did last year before you met Connor. just to pick up some groceries and all that. You're usually mama's errand boy. She gives you the money, you go out, you grab the stuff, you come back home. You're grabbing the supplies again. And almost beat for beat, you hear something, potentially. Roll me an awareness check. It's not raining this time. It's just a nice, pretty night.
13.
Okay. You think you hear angry muttering and muffled yelling and stuff like that. Not like in a scream, plea, oh God, please give me help, all that. No, it's more like an angered yell, an angry scream. It's muffled a few alleys down, and you kind of sneak your way over to it, and you see a few guys huddled in a circle performing a drug deal. So what do you want to do, Mason? You don't see anyone for miles. At least it feels that way sometimes. You don't see any heroes. What's going through Mason's brain? What does he want to do?
How many guys are there?
Oh, maybe 5. Though 2 of them look a little scrawny. One of them looks pretty big, and the other 2 look decently toned. They don't look that strong.
I'm going to go for the big guy first.
You do you want to gently set down your groceries, or you're gonna follow, it again and chuck it at his head?
I'm going to put down the grocery.
You set down the groceries. No eggs were harmed in the making of this film. Except they were, but shush. You begin to run forward and leap at the guy. Roll me a coordination check.
10.
10. Okay. You kind of roll to the side as he hears side out of the way, but you're able to kind of recover yourself. And he looks to you, and he has a pretty large weapon. Roll me an intellect check.
16.
16. This looks like a mechana gun. You know that, or at least you were pretty sure it would make sense that, when private agencies and governments were collecting alien relics, maybe some of that got into the hands of individuals. This guy's got a mechana gun straight from the burned city. And he's like, the hell? What just happened? Mason, roll initiative. Roll me a d20, add your coordination.
What happened to my rolls, dude? I got a 10.
Oh, dang it. Well, you still beat them out.
Woo!
I sense your evil. However, this is fine. Yeah, you go, and it's your turn. What do you want to do?
All right.
The 2 skinnier guys look a little skittish, like, oh man, I didn't know there was going to be a fight. It is your idea.
What hand is the guy holding the gun in?
His right.
I'm going to break his right arm.
Oh, okay. You leap up, you grab his arm, roll an opposing strength check. Well, this is gonna sting. Oh, that's gonna sting.
21.
Okay. So with a 4, you grab his arm and just instantly he drops to the ground, just, oh my god! Oh my arm! And the two skinnier guys are like, "Oh man, you can keep the money. I don't care. Let's get out of here." And they start running. The two other guys are like, "You broke Big Billy's arm. Yeah." And they're gonna try and go after you and take a swing at you as Big Billy's just kind of on the ground, just ah, my dice.
Alright,
Oh,
so what do I gotta... I'm gonna dodge out of the way.
yeah. Roll 2 coordination checks to dodge. You should be able to get these with ease, because my random street thugs are bimbos.
Right, one is a 10.
You win. Roll the other.
The other is an 18.
You win. So with a 2 and a 5, they both miss horrifically. And you just dodge out of the way with ease.
I was gonna say I dodged to the side, then countered.
Ooh, you want to counter? Alrighty then. Roll a prowess check. On both of them. So roll 2 d20s, add prowess to both.
Alright, one is a 17.
Okay. You win that one.
The other is also 17. What the fuck?
Oh, yes, thank God! You're not terrible! Okay, you're able to, like, slam one in the gut. Just... And the other one just narrowly dodges. Like, you skid him, but he just narrowly dodges and he stumbles for a sec. Mason, you punched one of them. I would like to know, how much damage do your fists do?
How do I decide that?
We'll do d4 for now. If you're just doing a normal fist. Oh, actually, you do know what your peculiarity does. Do you want to bring some pooled energy into it?
No.
Okay, just a normal punch. So yeah, then just roll a d4. How much damage you going to do?
4.
Oh! Okay, yeah. You knock one in the gut and just... and he throws up midair, slams into the back of a dumpster. And yeah, you knock him down. The other guy's just like, "I'll have your head for that!" And he tries to strike you. Let's roll a coordination check to dodge it. Good luck to you, sir.
Don't say that. I like that. John, you fucked me. I got an 8.
Yes!
I got 11. I got 11. 11 is what I got.
Perfect. So with a 17.
Fuck!
He is going to punch... Well, let's roll. Where's going to punch you? Okay. He's going to punch you in the gut as well. And Mason, you take 1 point of damage. It hurts, but it doesn't look like it hurt as much as what you did to that one guy. You stumble back a little bit. That's going to leave a bruise, but oh well. He's like, "Ha! I got a head on him. Did you see Big Billy? Awesome!" It's your turn. Big Billy is still crying. You hurt Big Billy.
Alright. I'm gonna go in.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna punch him in the side of the face.
Oh, okay. So roll a prowess check. I will roll coordination for him to dodge. 3.
17.
Crap! Yeah, you run up and... Do you want to grab any power from your pool?
I haven't used it yet, so yeah.
Okay, sure. How much do you want to grab?
I'll grab like 10%.
Okay. Add a +2 to your 1d4 damage.
+2?
Yep. +2 to a 1d4.
4.
Yeah, you crack him in the face, and he just slams against the wall. You feel proud of yourself, and then I want you to roll an awareness check.
I'm gonna die.
Are you gonna die? I don't know.
14.
Roll coordination check.
Oh.
Yep. Roll coordination check now.
15.
So with a 16, you're just kind of looking around like, yeah, I did it. And then you see a large shadow stretch over you. You look behind you, and Big Billy got up. Big Billy raises his fist, and he's going to try and knock you to the ground. And because of that coordination check, he beats you. So he hits you for 3 points of damage. How much health are you at?
I am now at 8.
Okay, 8 health.
Yep.
Okay, so he punches you and sends you to the ground. And he lands on top of you. He's like, you broke my arm! And he's going to try and basically keep you down. So it's your turn now. If you want to get up, you got to try and push him up, which means an opposing strength check. Or you can try and do something else. It's up to you. But you have this lumbering whale of a man on you.
Okay, am I face down or am I face up?
Your face up.
Where's his foot on my body?
Where's his what?
His foot on my body, if he's...
His foot is off to the side. He basically has just kind of rested his butt on your legs, and his knees are kind of like locking you in place, and his feet are just kind of like near your shins. They're not resting on you.
So he's sitting on my leg.
Yeah, he's like sitting on your legs, pinning you down. What are you going to do? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10.
If he's a bigger guy, I think
Yeah.
I'll boost up 20% and try to just punch him off me.
Okay, mark that you will have used 30% so far. And that you'll have 70 left. So you're going to try and punch him. Roll prowess. He can roll coordination. So basically, either way, you're going to get him off, most likely. Unless you fail really bad. But, because he'll either jump out of the way to try and dodge you, or you'll punch him off.
22.
13. So with 20%, roll a d4 plus 3. Because that's more or less what I'm doing to calculate this at this point. We'll figure out real damage for you soon.
6.
6. Crack him in the jaw. Now, since he wasn't able to dodge, I'm going to roll something else. I'm going to see if he can stay on you. Because he wasn't able to successfully dodge, so he's going to keep his position. Roll an opposing strength check, Mason.
Well, please, man, I like my legs. 18.
Yeah, he flies off and just lands on the ground. But the fight is yet over. He stands up one last time and is like, I'm not through with you. He grabs the cannon gun, points it forward, and then, out of the corner of your eye, roll me one more awareness check.
Oh, bitch. 24.
24. With that, you hear, and then you see a burning bright ball just shining. It looks like flames forming a phoenix. And you hear, blistering right cross! And he sends the guy into the wall, cracks through it, busts through a couple, And there's just this poor guy on his couch watching TV, looks to the hole in the wall, looks to the guy, looks to Rising Phoenix. The hell, man? Sorry about that, citizen. I will pay for the damages in time. Okay. Then he goes back to watching Dora, because that's his character arc now. The one guy. Yeah, Mason, you watched Rising Phoenix come in, sucker punch that guy, or right cross that guy, rather, through a wall. And you got to hear one of his famous names he gives his attacks, blistering right cross. He stands up, looks to you, and says, Mason, is that you, young man?
You remember me?
I remember everyone, I say. Or at least I try to. My goodness, you've gotten so much bigger.
Oh,
Has it
yeah,
really
I've
been
been
that long?
training recently.
Oh, have you? Well, it's clearly showing. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going to a hero school recently.
Have you?
Wasn't sure which one though.
Well, you know, I there are a few hero schools around here that I could maybe offer in terms of advice. There's one back in the States that's really well where I'm actually going to be working this fall. I recently got hired as a teacher. The school is called Washington High School of Heroes. Have you ever heard of it?
Same. Maybe on the news at some point.
It's like, well, it's a very, very great school. If you're looking to go somewhere, I suggest there. But Mason, how has it been? How are you? How's your mother? And your friend?
Oh, Mom and Alex? They're doing good. Well, at least I know Mom is. I haven't seen Alex in a hot minute, but yeah.
Alex, you know, when the moment arised, her mother came in, the hero that you know as Anil, and she moved back to Spain with her mom. So you know she's well, no, she's actually not across the water. You're kind of connected by land, so congratulations. But she's on the other side of the old world. So yeah, you kind of know she's over there. You really haven't heard her in a long time, but hey, it's cool. He looks at you and says, "Hmm, you it's mighty impressive what you did there, taking on 5 guys by yourself. One of them with a
Two,
weapon."
two kind of ran. On my first
Ah,
time taking on a guy with a weapon in an alleyway.
did you? Well, that's mighty impressive. I see you're I see you're already taking your first steps to becoming a hero. That's mighty impressive, Mason. The world could always use more good people like you. I know I probably shouldn't be promoting heroes doing stuff without a license, but considering how stretched out we are, and well, you're not murdering them, you're only incapacitating them. I think I can let it slide. Wink. But yeah, he kind of looks to you and just smiles. He's very happy to see you, and you are very surprised that he remembered you. Oh, one moment, guys. Quick break. All right, I'm back. Break over. Yeah, Rising Phoenix is very happy to see you. From the looks of it, do you want to say anything to him? It looks like he might go soon to go check out some other crime.
Hey, Phoenix.
Yes.
I've been trying to find someone to talk to about this. Well, ever since I got back a couple days ago. See,
What is it,
I was
lad?
at this hero training thing, and like I was there with this guy, this hero named Connor Jackson. You ever heard of him?
Hmm. No, unfortunately not. I haven't heard of a Connor Jackson or a hero school around these parts. Hmm.
Well, it's a couple of provinces away, but see there, I trained with him for a year. He really helped me out. He really helped me get an idea of what hope was, how to help people have it.
Well, that's very
Then I,
wonderful.
but that isn't the thing.
Oh,
There was a final exam that we had to take, and it was the day of the final exam. I was super happy. I was finally gonna get a provisional license from them, be a hero.
mm-hmm.
It's like I told you I would, but then they brought out my test. It was a guy who had murdered his wife who was cheating on him, and the guy who was cheating on him. They told me to kill him.
Oh dear.
They said that if you're a criminal, you deserve murder. They want him dead. They said that would give people hope, but I didn't do it. I helped the man get out of there. I gave him to the police, but they said if I left, I was no better than him. That's just ringing in my ears for days, and I can't stop thinking.
Rising Phoenix. Rising Phoenix takes a moment to think. He looks around. He looks to you and says, "Here, let me show you something, Mason." Kind of grab, picks you up because he's a very buff dude. He kind of holds you like a football, and he just leaps up on top of one of the buildings. And he lands, and he places you down, and you see him walk over to the ledge, and he sits on it. And you watch his fire dim down to almost like a little bit of a lava type color. His mask is still on, but it's dimmed as well. And for a moment, he just seems like a normal person. He looks to you and says, I've had many people tell me that as well. Criminals and enemies I've fought, I sure, but I've had my fair share of those moments. I've had many moments where they've told me that I'm nothing but an nothing but a blindfold on society, trying to preserve hope and peace. And sometimes I wonder if I actually am doing any good. If all this, and he kind of gestures to the city, more so the world, if any of it's worth it. I, those words have haunted me as well. And some I can never shake. And sometimes they tell me there will be threats that I won't be able to stop. Sometimes they tell me one day I won't be able to preserve that hope, and I'll fail everyone. But in my times of despair and reflection, I think about one line, and I think you know what it is. And
Yeah, it's been thinking
do you
about
want
it
to
ever
say?
since.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm glad you remember.
If you only look to your feet in the present, you'll miss the cliff that is the future. If you only look to the cliff, you'll trip over your own feet.
Oh, I'm glad you remember it. He pats you on the back. Those are the words I live by. Those are the words that help get me through my darkest times. Those are the words that teach me. that I can't keep focusing on what they say, and I shouldn't worry about if I can preserve hope in the future, if this will matter in the long run. Yes, I must look out for it, but I should also focus on the present. Understand what I'm doing now is helping. And Mason, you need not worry about what that man said to you. They're empty words. Listen to the ones I told you. Hope is important. Hope is very important. But we do also need to learn to use our own skills, whether that be to promote it or to get through in life on our own. And you, Mason, you took the initiative to train yourself. I think you could make a great hero one day. Even if you wanted to now, I know you could. You have that fire in you. I would be proud to work alongside you one day. And if you do feel like going to that school in the States, I only hope that I can be your teacher. And he just kind of looks back out to the city, waiting for you to respond, if at all. Do you say anything?
All right. My mind's made up then.
Mm-hmm. He
Guess
says,
I'm
looking
going
at
to the guess I'm going to the Washington School of Heroes.
Excellent work! Then I hope to see you there, and I'm sure you'll make the entrance exam no problem. I don't remember what it is this year. They usually change it up. Either way, I'll see you some other time, I'm sure. Remember, may the phoenix burn bright! And he
Wait, Phoenix,
bursts.
before you leave.
Ah, okay, fine. What? I was doing my cool moment. I was gonna exit. It was awesome. All right, what do you want?
This is something you'll probably like. Don't worry. My mom and some other people from the community were putting together a party, just to help people have some hope. Jobs are it's hard to find now, even after the whole move. People still aren't really adjusted. So I was wondering if you could give a whole speech on hope. Since you're a symbol of hope, peace. Wondering if you could, do that.
Well, I can certainly try. I can't promise that I'll be able to make it, but I'll do my best for you.
Thank you, Phoenix.
You're welcome. I'll catch you around, I'm sure. And he begins to fly off. And Maison?
Wait, where are my groceries? Crap, I forgot them!
he flies back down, and then he hands you your groceries, and he's like, you don't want to forget this. Yes, nutrition is important. Drink your milk, he says, flying off. Don't do drugs. Oh, the cat. And he's gone for the third time. So, you hold your groceries, think to yourself, and we do a little bit of a time skip. Recently, you've been helping your mother set up the party. You told her that Rising Phoenix might be stopping by to give a speech in your place instead. And, things have been really good. You've been training more, building yourself up. You told her about the Washington High School of Heroes. And things have been really cool. In fact, that night you came home and your mom asked you, what took you so long? Did you want to explain to her what happened?
I think I'm gonna leave out the part where I illegally used my quirk, but I'll tell her that I stopped some people from doing some bad stuff, and then I saw Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, so no, it's pretty cool. I'm talking with her. And you've been spending a few days going to the building that is right next to the apartment building you stay at. Your mom was able to rent it out. And she got really excited at one point because she told you, "Oh, this is awesome! A donor found out about our party gathering thing that we were happening, and they wanted to help fund it." I gotta ask my girlfriends what his name was and all of that, but he sounded like such a nice man. I want to try and meet him, and I want you on your best behavior too. So, what else do we have to do? And she starts looking through her list. I think that's just about it. Actually, Mason, there are a few boxes in the living room that I need you to grab and move over here. I forgot them. They should be resting on the couch. Can you go get them?
All right, Mom.
Okay. Oh yeah, the party room is very. It's nice. It's big. It kind of looks like a classic ballroom. You're kind of amazed they were able to get this. They're standing on the stage. She's hanging up a few decorations. There are a few people helping you out. You run back. You go into the hotel. Your mom left the TV on again. This seems to be a habit. But as you grab the stuff, roll me a perception check. Or awareness. Excuse me.
15.
Okay. You go, you grab the boxes, and you hear the woman on the news reporting something interesting. You kind of turn over and look, and she says, and recently at the Weapons show, as they were doing inventory, it was reported that a few weapons were stolen. The electromagnetic device, the hover tank, and a few other guns and strange technologies. Witnesses report seeing shady individuals moving objects of sorts into an abandoned apartment building on the blah 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 side of the city. She kind of rambles off the information. She goes over what witnesses said. She says it's on Metalla Street, and that's a little tongue-in-cheek reference for Mason because why not? And she kind of says police are at the scene of the crime, but nobody has heard from them. We will continue to inform on what goes on. So Mason, you hear that weapons were stolen. You were told the street in which side of the city. You have maybe a few hours before the party starts. Maybe you want to check this out. It's up to you. If you want to go and check it out, if not, so it's fine.
I'm gonna bring the boxes to my mom,
Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You got all three. She thanks you.
and then I'm gonna go.
Then you're gonna go. Alrighty. Now, what do you look like as you're running out? Are you in casual clothes, formal clothes, pajamas, a makeshift hero costume? What are you in? Just curious.
It was a party, so like semi-formal,
Okay.
like t-shirt with a button down over it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you look very nice. It seems pretty good. And you just choose to like, all right, I'm running out. Do 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 do. It takes a little bit, but you notice you're really kicking up speed, you're rushing forward, and eventually you make it to, I'll say, the west side of the city, where Metalla Street is. You walk down. The way the city is structured and the way it looks is as you get into the center of the city, the tallest buildings are there, and it slowly down. It looks very beautiful. Like they tried that aesthetic. There are a few buildings that break it up every now and again that are a bit higher than others, but it looks pretty good. You're on the side where the buildings are. almost suburb. They almost look suburb. But you're here. You go check out the street. Roll me another awareness check.
John, I'm sorry.
What'd you do?
I got a nat 1. I got 5.
Okay. You stumble around and you think you see something, and then you fall forward, and then you wake up, and it's like, oh dear, I think my brain had to reboot. And if anyone gets the reference, good on you. You get a cookie. And if anyone gets that reference, congratulations. I made 2 in 1. So, Mason, more or less, you kind of have a brain fart for a second and just kind of stumble around this neighborhood-like area. Then it becomes quite apparent. You see 2 large police cars standing outside. Their lights dimmed, and the car doors shut and locked. And they are parked outside of a house, and the door is wide open. Do you want to go to it?
I'll sneak around. I don't want to be, caught just because if someone's going down. I don't want them to get the wrong idea of why I'm there.
Yeah. So where are you going to sneak around? Inside or?
I'm going to sneak around outside just to get closer.
Okay. You're able to sneak. Nobody sees you. You don't notice anything. You don't even really hear anything. I'm not sure how long these police cars have been out. Their lights stopped flashing, so that's probably not a good sign. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I start looking inside some windows?
Yes, you can. Roll an awareness.
I'll take it. 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look around. You don't really see anything. Things are pretty cool. It's very empty. There's not too much action going on. It's very quiet. What do you want to do? Do you want to enter in?
Yeah, but I'll do it I'll try to be quiet.
I'm reading the session chat as I do this. I love guys, press. Okay, you want to do what? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just go slowly and quietly.
Okay. You sneak inside the house and you step slowly and quietly. The floorboards creak a little bit under your feet and weight, but it's not too much. You're looking around, you're trying to study, you don't see much. As you're walking, with that natural 20, I'm going to say it ports over to here. You notice in the kitchen, a few tiles were ripped up, and a trap door has flung open. And there are muddy boot prints that are leading to it. It looks like the police officers found this and nobody had time to cover it. As you look down it, there's a ladder that heads down into a cement tunnel. And you can't really see beyond there unless you go inside it. Would you like to head down the trapdoor?
Alright, I'll head down.
Okay. You step your way down, and you walk inside. You're immediately hit with terrible smell and odor, and you realize you're in a sewer system. The house connects directly to a sewer system. But I want you to roll me one more awareness check. Also, it is a little dark, so you pull out and you flash it on so you can see better. So roll me that awareness check. Let's see what you get.
Ooh, 23.
Oh, all right. You find the muddy boot prints of these police officers, and you can easily follow where they went. Do you want to follow them?
Yes.
Alrighty then. So, You go through the tunnel. You're stepping through. It's mucky. It's gross. Who joined? Let's see. Thick Boy Cole joined, or Thick Boy Bacchus. Oops. Yeah. So you continue through the dark sewer. It smells. It's gross, but you have your flashlight on, and you're following the muddy boot prints of what you assume to be the police officers. You're walking through an area where it looks like they used crowbars to break through one of those steel cages inside the sewer system. You sneak through it, and you eventually hear what sounds like conversation. And down one of the tunnels, you see a bright light. Do you want to head over to it?
Yeah.
Okay. You begin to head over to it, and you see a large, almost factory connects to it. The pipe sticks out of the wall, and the sewage water just kind of flumps down, goes through a draining system, and keeps on going. But this area looks like it was carved out into a little cubby. You see a bunch of construction gear, windows to the surface, so you must not be terribly far down. And you see ladders and everything. And in the center of the room are three police officers tied up and blindfolded, with a few goons with guns, just one or two, and one guy walking around them, preaching and talking. He's wearing like robes and gold armor and stuff like that. It's kind of looks like what a samurai wear in a sense, but it's a little less. And he's just kind of walking around. He doesn't have any visible weapons on him. He's just kind of checking it out. So, they haven't noticed you yet. You see the three police officers trapped there. What do you want to do?
How many guys are there? Not police officers, but like bad guys. How many of them are there?
There's three police officers.
Didn't you say they were strapped?
Yes, they were strapped down to a chair and blindfolded.
Alright, that isn't what I was asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I must have misheard it.
So
Repeat the question, please.
How many non-police officers are there?
Oh, okay. I just heard police. Um, three informants from what you can see so far. It looks like there are many doors leading off, but the only two visible ones are two guys with AKs and this one guy in these strange robes walking around. Roll me an awareness check again. I want to see if you notice this too.
24, baby.
24. You see a tarp covering a very large object nearby. And revealed from it, because it can't cover the entire object, it's so big, you think you almost see the bottom of the hover tank. And in many other areas, you see crates, weapons branded with the logo of acid on there. And you see what is almost placed in the center is like the crown jewel. It's like a little electromagnetic device, one you saw being presented. It's just kind of sitting there near them. And hanging above this facility, or no, not hanging above it, excuse me. That's for something else. Patches on them, patches on their shoulders. You see little logos of an organization I work for. It's clearly not acid because their logos look like a green raindrop on top of a upside down orange triangle. Theirs looks like a trumpet with a devil playing it, a demon. Roll me an intellect check. Yeah, roll me an intellect check. Let's see what you get.
19.
19. Okay. So, with a 19, you know that this is the criminal organization known as Devil's Orchestra. And Devil's Orchestra was the reason that the icons united together. They were put together to silence and stop this organization. Thinking they succeeded, they left them alone. Devil's Orchestra is back and bigger and better than ever before. So these guys are pretty big deals. So, Mason, what do you want to do? I'll give you a tiny sec to think about it. What?
Alright, I'm still hidden, right?
Oh yeah, you're hidden.
Alright. Do I have self-service?
Yes.
I'm going to call in more police backup.
All right. You tell them, you give them
Before
position. And what do you want to do?
I do inform that it's Devil's Orchestra, right?
Yes. Yes.
Alright. So, do they give me like a time frame or anything, or no?
They panic. They're like, we'll be there. We'll be there in 20 minutes. Because they got police stations in a fair amount of the city. So are you waiting for the police officers?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for them to start like causing a ruckus, and then I'm gonna go get the police officers that are at least try to.
So what do you mean by make a ruckus? Are you going to wait for them to come down here to where you are, or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for them to start coming down and like raiding the base, so that while the police officers are holding off the goons for Devil's Orchestra, I have a chance to go to the cage and get the police officers out safely.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm
Oh,
not
don't worry.
about to
There's no
take
cage.
on. Like
They're
well,
just
like
tied to a chair.
out of their bind.
Yeah, more or less. So, you wait for them. Roughly 30 minutes passes by, 20, 30. And the police officers come. They notice you. They're like, kid, you should get out of here. This could be dangerous.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is, yeah, but if you start, yeah, if a firefight breaks out, who's gonna get them out of here?
Damn it.
Don't worry, I can be quick.
I can't endanger a child. What? Do you have a quirk or a peculiarity? What are you? Why are you so confident?
Confident?
Are you a hero?
I'm gonna be.
Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, whatever. I'm pressed for time and I'm low on officers. Do not get caught in the crossfire. Yes, this police officer is letting a 15-year-old into the firefight. But it's John's messed up world. So
Don't worry, if you can just keep them away from that area. 2 minutes at the most, I can get them out of here.
Okay. Oh. So, do you want the police officers to cause the?
Yep.
Okay. They go down. There's like a ladder area nearby, and they all scream, "Freeze! Hands up in the air! WWC CPD!" And they start rushing forward. A firefight actually does begin to break out between these two guys, and a few more up on the near doors. They come out and they're on balconies, and they begin to kind of fire down. It's a little hectic, but you might be able to get them out safely and in time.
Well, now that the fight started, I'm gonna head down.
Okay, you run down. You go over to the police officers. You begin to untie them. See how fast you can get them out.
Roll a what?
Coordination.
Alright. Alright. 13.
13. Okay. Not too bad. You're able to get two of them out. pretty quickly. They thank you before, as you begin to tie one down, your hand gets slit. You take 1 point of damage. Oh, you were fully healed up from your last fight, so you go back to full health. Yeah, just want to make sure you know that. And yeah, so this guy slits your hand, and it is the guy in the fancy robes arm. He looks to you, he says, "Oh, no, I don't. We're keeping these prizes here." Mason, roll initiative real quick.
So what was that again?
Roll
I don't know
initiative.
why I always forget.
Oh, no, you're fine. Coordination. Yeah, add your coordination bonus.
21.
Dead beams. He got a 1, so yeah, you're gonna beat him. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, crazy man?
So I'm still bent over trying to get the cop out, right?
Yes.
And he's just kind of over me?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, yes, you won't win this time, He-Man. What shall you do?
All right. Can I? This is gonna be real stupid. You could say no to this if you want. I just wanted to ask. Can I sweep his leg and as he falls, punch him?
You know what? For the hell of it, why not? All right, try and sweep his leg. Roll coordination check.
Really thought you would say no. Okay.
No, because I have a plan.
17.
15. All right, you sweep his leg. Roll a prowess check. It won't do that much damage, but you'll be able to pop him.
19.
19. Okay, yeah, you punch him square in the face, and he just kind of drops to the ground, just, ah! And I'll say you do a point of damage. Since it was a quick action, I'll let you do a point of damage. But yeah, he's on the ground just, that hurt. So he's going to spend his turn getting back up, and now it's back to you. So what do you want to do?
So I'm going to fight now.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
Does this guy have anything like on him? Does he have like immediately that I can see?
Visibly, he has no weapons.
Robes.
What are you gonna do?
I think I'm going to weave my way towards him in case he pulls anything out and try to go for another attack. Only this time I'm going to use 10%.
Okay. You're back to full. 1 second. All right, here, 1 sec, intermittent. And break over. What are you all doing sleeping on the job? All right, so Mason, where did we leave off? We did a thing. You were going to try and bop him in the face again? Or what were you going to do?
I was going to go 10%.
Okay.
Weave my way towards him. Just as to, like, so if he pulls anything out or tries to go for an attack, I can, like, avoid it.
Ooh.
Or so he can't, like, follow me.
Okay.
And then go for his chest.
Alrighty. Roll prowess. Game is nearing its end. We're making it to its conclusion. This will be exciting.
18.
18? Okay.
Yep.
Natural 20. Okay, so you... I got too excited. You basically charge up your power. You exercise 10% of it, so you're at 90 that you can use for today. And you try and do a punch at him, and he just backflips out of the way practically. He says, no, 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 no. Like you getting in the way of my plan. All right, now come on. And he just starts to walk up to you, and you see he's got a similar power. You see he's charging up a bunch of power in his fist, and his arm's bulking up a tad bit, and he is going to try and do a punchy punch in your face. So, let's see. 18. What did you get? Roll coordination to dodge.
27.
No! No!
All right, John, can I dodge to the side and flip him over?
Oh, why not? It'll look awesome. Roll prowess.
Shit, 11.
I don't know, Tim. As I text you currently, I'm going to leave you friends. So, what did you get again? Pardon?
I got 11.
Whee! 15. Okay, yeah, you try to whack him again, and he just kind of rolls to the side, like, no, stop this, come on, man! It is his turn. He's like, okay, screw it, enough of this. And he is going to bulk up both of his arms, kind of build up the power, and he's going to rush forward, and he's going to try and basically crush your head from both fists. So roll coordination to dodge.
John, are you trying to kill me?
No.
I got an 11.
You got a pardonnez-moi.
I got 11.
An 11. Okay, so with that, he hits you. And you take 4 points of damage. It hurts. Your ears are like ringing. You're kind of stumbling around. And then as he stands over you, he's like, I'm not going to let you get in the way of this. And then he gets, well, let's see. He gets shot in the leg. Ah! And he kind of drops to one knee. One of the officers runs over, the gun's still steaming, and then just slams him to the ground and pulls out handcuffs. That is enough of that. We're taking you downtown, or whatever police officers say. Cliche line, insert it here. Yeah. You kind of take a little moment to recover. Just, okay. You're back up. You're all right. The officers free the last one that you weren't able to free just yet. They begin to collect the evidence and the weapons, and they help you up and they ask, "Are you okay, son? You doing all right?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I've taken worse. Don't worry.
I like it. Nice spunk. All right, let's get you and the rest of this crap out of here. And they begin to find ways on how they snuck the tank in here, and they use those garage entrances to get out. They pull the police cars around. They start loading up supplies. A few SWAT trucks come in and they grab some of the things. And you watch as this guy is kind of being handcuffed and pushed forward. And he looks to you and just kind of goes, you think you were able to stop me? You think you've won? Don't think the party's over yet. Just because you put a quick foil in my plan doesn't mean I have to cancel the show. Devil's Orchestra never gives up, they say as they're pushing him into the car. The show must go on. And I assure you, the orchestra will be playing tonight. And they slam the car door shut, and they begin to drive off with him. And he just looks at you through the back. So Mason, you're looking at the time now. The party is just about to start.
Oh, shit. I do what I gotta do. Kill me.
One of the police officers walks up. Oh, no, I'm not going to cut you off.
I was gonna ask if I could ask one of the police officers to give me a ride.
Actually, one of them was going to go up to you and ask if they needed to drive you. So, yeah, they take you in the back, and you give them your address. There. You're still going to be late, but nowhere near as late as if you were on foot. So, congratulations. They pull you up to the party. They say, "Great work tonight, young man. I think if you're looking to be a hero, you're definitely going to be one. I can see it in you." And they kind of pat you on the arm. And they drive off. So, Mason. Oh, excuse me. We're on the last scene that I have for my notes. Which, this is going to be fun. As you stand outside the building and you're kind of freshening up, I want you to roll an awareness check.
John, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
John?
Okay, I'm doing a few things. Yeah!
19.
What was it? It's maniacally
19.
laughing. 19. Okay. You see a man down the street begins to walk forward, very tall, very buff, and he's in a well-pressed suit. It's very clean, very neat, and he has a flaming mask on his face. He looks to you and he goes, Mason, I'm so sorry I'm late. He runs up to you.
It's fine. I was pretty late too.
I hope your mother won't be too mad at me.
Nah, she's pretty easygoing. Plus, it's a party. You can't really get mad.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I'm nervous. I mean, I do perform in front of people, fight evil every day with my rippling biceps. You see him flex. The shirt the clothes begin to wear and tear. He's like, oh dear, I don't want to rip that. Not yet. He says,
Wait, not yet.
he says, yes, I can't stay for long. Just recently got informants that some weapons were stolen and all that, and they're bringing them back to the police depot. But apparently there's more work that needs to be done. So I'll give my speech. I'll shake your mother's hand, all that, but I'll have to go right after. I have my hero suit under. He kind of unbuttons a little bit, and you see it. And he buttons it back up. So I will dramatically flex my clothes off to show how awesome I am, and I will fly and do good after my mission of giving a good speech and hopefully inspiring hope. So, Mason, do you two walk into the party room at this point?
Yep.
Alrighty. You open up the doors, you make your way in. A few people look to you, but they continue on celebrating and all that stuff. And then everyone notices the very large man, and they all notice it's Rising Phoenix. He's got his mask on, but not his, not his superhero outfit and all that. So they're all like, oh my god, Rising Phoenix, you're here. He saved a fair amount of these people, so they're very excited to see him. And you see your mother begin to march over to you. It's like, where were you? You were late.
Sorry about that. I thought we might have needed more milk, but hey, shop's closed.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Oh, wow, I can't believe you actually got Rising Phoenix to give a speech. Thank you, sweetheart. She gives you a hug.
No problem, Mom.
Here, I want you up on stage with me. I just want to, mother and son and all that. I'm going to quickly introduce him. He'll give a quick speech, and hopefully he can hang around, maybe. And you guys begin to make your way to the stage. She goes up. There are 2 chairs, or 3 chairs, one for all of you. Rising Phoenix sits down next to you, though he's so big that he kind of just takes up 2, one for each butt cheek. So he's on there. You're sitting next to him. You look dwarfed in comparison. She goes up. She says some very heartfelt words, and then she introduces Rising Phoenix. And he's very nervous at first, but eventually he gets very comfortable. He talks with them all for quite a bit. He really shares his input, his views on life, and he goes throughout it all and just really talks about what it means to be a hero, what it means to do good, and why hope is so important. He also goes and says, the way I view hope is like this. You can have hope. It's very important. The world would not be the same if it didn't have it. But you can't fully rely on just that. Hope isn't going to pay the bills. Hope isn't going to always save those you love. You need to be able to use your own skills to make it. And that's what a lot of you did. You prayed for hope, but you took the initiative to keep moving. And that's why you're all here. I'm very proud to have met most of you, and I'm very proud to have seen you all tonight. Thank you for your time. And may the phoenix burn bright. And he raises an arm. People kind of clap and cheer. And he looks over to you, Mason, and he winks. And he says, now, I'd like to stay around longer, but I have some hero business to attend to. Maybe I can stop by later tonight, depending on how long the party will run. And he flexes, and his clothes just rip off into a pile of fabric. And he's like, I'll pump it away! That's not even my catchphrase, but I'll pump it away! And he rushes, and he flies away. And everyone claps once more. And you're kind of at the party now, Mason. Now it's just kind of, let's relax. Let's try and unwind and have fun. Your mom's talking with a few of her friends and stuff like that. You're just kind of going around. Mason, what do you want to do at the party? I'm just curious, your general idea of what you do at the party.
I'll just walk around a bit, conversate, probably grab some to eat. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Tired, a little tired.
No,
got a bit of a headache still.
So, with all that, eventually, your mom finds you at the snack bar, and she's all, Mason, I found the donor. My friends, they were telling me about him, and I got to meet him. He's such a lovely man. Here, follow me. She grabs you by the arm and just kind of drags you. Best behavior. Back straight. Chin up.
Right.
And she walks you through the crowd. She says, no, here he is. Hi, Mr. Jackson. And slowly, a man in a well-pressed suit turns around and looks at you. Connor Jackson stands tall. He smiles and says, yes. What can I help you with? Oh, this is my son. I'd just like you to meet him and all that. Ah, well, it's a pleasure, young man. And he extends his hand, waiting for you to shake it. What do you do?
I'm going to hesitate for a second, but I'll shake his hand. No problem. Pleasure's all mine.
Oh, and Miss Insert Mason's character's last name here, because we still haven't thought of it yet. We'll work on it later. He addresses your mother and just goes, I believe someone spilled one of the drinks over there, and there's glass all over the place. If you were around and you hadn't noticed yet, I wanted to inform you. Oh dear. Okay. Sure. Here, Mason. Why don't you why don't you talk to him? I'll be right back. Oh
Mom,
dear.
Mom, don't worry. I can clean
No,
it. Don't worry.
she's gone. She's gone. She disappears into the crowd. Connor looks to you. Your mother can throw quite a party, Mason. It's lovely. How have
Don't
you been?
patronize me.
I will patronize you all I want. I'm the one with the power here.
What the hell do you want?
What do I want? You never paid your dues. You left my temple with all the knowledge, all my teachings, and more, and threw away the gifts I gave you. I am here to teach you a lesson. Well, not yet now, not yet. I'm going to teach your city a lesson and have you watch it.
What the hell did you do?
It's quite simple, really. I worked with a young man who goes by the name of the Liberator. Works for Devil's Orchestra. Crime syndicate here, frankly around the world, but they're growing here. He stole a bunch of military technology. He's going to put them to good use. And I can't wait to benefit off them.
So
Oh,
it was all bullshit then?
a
Everything you
little
said
bit,
about being a
yes.
hero, you're working with villains now. What the hell?
So he just kind of pulls you aside and is like, no. Let's not make a scene yet. I don't think you'd like my reaction to that. No, I'm only working with the villains for an extended period of time. I do despise everything they stand for, but I decided I could kill two birds with one stone. I captured an EMP device. The Liberator's plan was to use it, access the city's built-in defense systems, and lock people inside it and create chaos by unleashing the weapons. By doing so, he wanted to fulfill some sort of arbitrary. I failed to pronounce that. So you know what? I'm not going to try again. Some arbitrary. There we go. I tried again. Some arbitrary tool idea that he wanted to fulfill. So he was going to use the weapons in the city to prove that. What was it? I don't entirely remember, nor do I care. But in the midst of this chaos, I have an easy way as to tell who are the ones that will disrupt society and who are the good eggs. In the midst of all the chaos, when the EMP, the defenses lock everyone in here like cattle, me and my men will take out those who will riot, loot, and go mad, while we protect those who are filled with hope and praying for someone to help them. In Devil's Orchestra, they were always a means to an end. We supplied them with all their weapons, their money, and we learned of their operations, their trade routes, everything. So, when the time was right and they activated their plan, we would cut off trade. They would be left high and dry. We would know the locations of every one of their bases, and we could snuff them out. Well, we benefit from their plan. And you, Mason, you tried to stop that. Oh, very foolish of you, young man. You always did jump into a fight without really considering the possibilities or the outcomes. You're going
I
to
know
watch
what
the
your
city
outcome.
burn. Oh, really?
All you want is a bloodbath.
Your views are too simple, little one. You still have much to grow up into. Though I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. Our first step is making sure you don't get in the way of this plan. I have my men snuck around the party. I'm going to burn this building to the ground. we're going to leave you in here with it.
What?
However, I will let you allow everyone to leave the party. If you want to find a way to have them escape, it's up to you. It won't matter in the long run. Most of their lives are most likely doomed. But if you'd like to prolong the inevitable, I'll give you a moment. And he begins to walk away into the crowd and says, "You have 5 minutes." And he practically disappears. So Mason, you got the fun villain monologue. And he's going to burn this place to the ground with everyone in it unless you can get them all to leave within 5 minutes. What do you want to do? And I am going to see, Google, do you have a that I can use? You do! So Mason, I'm going to set up a timer for 5 minutes. You will have 5 real-life minutes to think of a plan if you'd like. In 3, 2, 1. And the timer has begun.
Try to convince. Okay, 5 minutes. First, police. Gotta call them. Then, I'll try to get people out, as many people out as you can. During that confusion, I'll go around and I'll try to take out the people centered around the building. Alright. Let's do this.
Okay. You came up with a plan relatively quick. So, what's your first step? Tell me your first step.
Calling the police.
Okay. You want to call them on your cell or anything?
Cell.
Okay.
So, also, as far as I know, Rising Phoenix probably went somewhere near there, so.
He probably shouldn't be too far away. So you pull out your phone, you call up the police. They're like, 911, what's your emergency?
Hey, it's me again, the guy that just called from the sewer? Yeah, I found, the person that was working with the Devil's Orchestra to plan that incident, they're here at this party for the citizens. You probably heard of it. You should stop by after, take care of this. He's gonna burn this place to the ground. He's gonna burn it with everyone in it, unless I get them out.
Oh, that's
and
concerning.
Then he said he's gonna kill me. And then he said he's gonna kill me.
All right, well, we'll send police on our way, a street and address.
We have 5 minutes.
All right, well, we'll do our best. All right, boys, let's go. And they hang up. They're very clearly overwhelmed. That person was practically dying on the phone. But the police are coming. Now, step 2. What's your plan?
What can I use to get people out of here?
You want to roll a perception check? Or awareness?
Well, that's not going to do me any good. I got a 6.
Yeet. You could scream fire. That's what I'll give you. You could scream fire.
A light or anyone around here?
You do a quick look around. You see a few fire alarms in the building.
I'll have to do. Alright, I'm going to go start pulling those.
Okay. You pull those, and all of a sudden, they start going off, and your mother's like, all right, everyone, out of the building. And people actually do start to flood out pretty efficiently. You're like, oh my god, it worked.
All right, now, best place to burn this building would be lower the 4 corners. So start going around there.
So, as you begin to walk around, I would like you to roll me another awareness check.
24, baby.
24. Okay. You sense the presence of someone landing behind you, and you turn around and you see Connor Jackson with a bat about to swing you across the face. What do you want to do? Dodge it? Or do you
I'm
want to
gonna
take
dodge.
it?
I'm
Okay.
gonna dodge and counter.
I was hoping you would take it. Because I'm evil.
John, I have
Alrighty.
7 health left.
Oh, that's nice. Alright, what'd you get?
What, coordination?
Yep. What'd you get? What'd you get?
17.
17. Okay. He actually does paddle you across the face. And you take 4 points of damage.
John, what the fuck? John, what the fuck?
Yeah. And you drop to the ground with a large mark on your face. I would like you to roll me, what are stats? Willpower. Roll me willpower.
9.
Okay. Mason, you feel drowsiness begin to overtake you. The world is spinning around you. Your hearing is muffled, and Connor Jackson is just looking at you and taunting. You see, as I let my timer finish its run. Perfect. You see Connor Jackson just stand up, hand the bat. He's talking with people. It's muffled. You're just kind of rolling around on the ground. You don't know what's happening entirely. And he walks over to you and kneels down and just says, like I said, you were my favorite pupil, but you refused my teachings, and I cannot allow that. And I cannot allow you to get in the way of this plan. So, consider this your grave. And he pulls out a match. And you look around dazed, and you notice a lot of his guys are bringing in oil drums and stuff like that, bringing it around. And he says, I'm sure I'll see you on the other side one day, but it's not tonight. And he drops the match.
You're not.
Yes?
You're not going. I'm going. Don't even start to think.
We'll see
You're
about
not
that.
going to hell.
The match falls, drops in the oil. The building erupts in flames, and he walks out along with his men. And the building is really catching fire and really beginning to break apart. Mason, roll me a flat D20. No bonuses. Yeah.
Well, boys, this is where I die. Holy shit, 19!
Damn it! No! Okay. So you're able. You don't stay on the ground too long. You're not out for like an hour. You're just kind of like groggy for maybe 10 minutes or something like that as the fire really begins to consume the building. And roll me a willpower check. Let's see if you can wake up. Like for realsies. Will you survive?
11.
Damn it, that beat 10. That's all you needed. Why am I so murderous? Anyway. Okay. So you begin to kind of wake up, all that stuff. You're looking around. The entire place is caught in a blaze. The support beams up above are breaking and snapping due to the heat. And then you look around and you see the walls beginning to crumble in on themselves, and you're pretty far away from the door. What do you want to do, Mason?
Am I still on the ground or did I stand up?
You have not stand up yet.
I'm just gonna try to make it to the door.
Okay.
The whole time I have. Trying to get up along the way, but just trying to get there if I can.
Roll a strength check.
17.
You're crawling through the flames, all that. You're standing up now. You're limping away and all that. You're weak. You're hurt. And then, all of a sudden, you notice The building begins to crumble in. The roof and its support beams begin to fall on top of you, and so does the rubble. And you can only brace for impact. Do you want to try and roll coordination to see if you can get to an area that maybe will crush you less?
Yes.
Roll it.
All right, 27.
Okay, you're dead. No. You
Bye, have a
leap.
wonderful time.
You leap into a really safer area, as safe as you get, and the building kind of crumbles on top of you. One of the steel bars falls on you, and you just fall to the ground with a thud, and as the building crumbles. It takes you a second, but you begin to wake up, and you're covered in rubble and debris. You try to move, but it can't. You can't. It's too difficult. What do you do?
Gonna try to move. See if I can somehow wriggle myself out of there. Like, try to lift the beam.
Okay. Roll a strength check. I'll roll for environment. Ooh, I like that number.
God damn it. 14.
19. So you try to lift up the bar with strength, but then as you hear it, you can't get it up. It crushes you again and it hurts. Mason, take a point of damage. Take a point of damage. You just can't get it off of you. It's too heavy. It's too tough. Do you want to try again?
No.
Hmm?
No.
No.
Nope.
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 What do you do, Mason?
Can I try to crawl out? Or is it packed on too much?
You can attempt to. You're going to have to roll a strength check to sneak through.
All right.
I like to call this my homecoming scene. I liked this scene when I was playing again.
All right. Strength. Son of a bitch.
What'd you get?
12. Shut up.
No! No! You beat it by 10. Mason, what are you trying to do?
Trying to get out.
Do you try to lift the bar up? Do you try and crawl out? What are you trying to do?
Wait, can I use my quirk to move the bar to help move the bar?
You most certainly can.
I am going to do that.
How much of a percentage?
30, because I'm just trying to fighting for my life at this point.
30%. Your muscles begin to build up. You see the power streaking through. You lift up the bar and you just start screaming, "Come on, Mason!" And you lift it up and you throw it to the side. And the rubble breaks off of you, and you stand above the broken building as the fire smolders and dies out around you. However, you're too late. The weapon has gone off. The city defenses are up, and people are running scared and terrified. They don't know what to do. Mason, roll a perception check.
I got a 5.
Actually, that was my bad. I'll let you re-roll this because I meant to say intellect. My apologies. So roll an intellect check.
better. I got a 15.
Okay. You think you might actually have a decent idea of where this is taking place. The only way they could access the city defenses is in the defense capitol building. And you saw where that was. You were walking home and you walked past it. That's probably where the weapon is being used. And that's probably how they're accessing the city defenses. Do you want to go to it, my friend?
Yep.
Alrighty. You begin to rush forward and all that stuff. You're running through the city. You see anarchy freaking out. Some are just going mad. Others are like, oh God, someone help me.
Where are the police?
They are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And they are freaking out. They don't know what to do because you see a lot of the acid technology that was being shown at the whole facility, the weapon show, are being used on the city. So you see the hover tank, you see people with some of the guns and all that. They're just running around and causing mayhem. So you kind of just keep running forward, and you make it to the defense capitol building. You see bright flashing blue lights in the top windows. That is the light that emanated off of the electromagnetic device. You think you see them up there. You want to rush inside?
Yeah.
You rush inside. You run up the staircase, and you make your way to where you believe the weapon is. And you think you see the door, mainly because you see blue light shining out from underneath the crack. So,
What'd you say?
the door. You think you see the door to the room that probably has the weapon going off, and maybe where they're controlling the defense systems for the city. You see the blue light emanating from under the crack of the door. Do you want to head in?
Wanna go in?
Okay.
Yep.
Are you just gonna bust the door down?
Is it unlocked?
No, I'm just wondering. Do you want to bust through the wall? Do you want to go around, bust through the window, go through the door? I'm just giving you options.
I'm not gonna waste the last bit of my quirk. I'm just gonna fucking go through the door.
Bust open the door, and you see that Liberator guy just standing above the electromagnetic device. Just looks at you, he's like, "Oh crap, it's you again. I thought Connor killed you." No matter. It's not like you can stop it. This old girl, she'll keep going. It kind of farts out for a second. No, please keep going. And he looks to you, he's like, "What are you going to do? You're just a kid. What are you going to do? This city is in shambles. My weapon is going off perfectly fine. What are you going to do?"
I'm gonna go for the weapon, and I'm gonna break it.
Okay. You want to just bull rush the weapon. So, in that case, roll initiative for probably the very last time in this game. Because we are at the climax. If it wasn't obvious.
22.
22. Okay. Oh, poor buddy. Okay. You beat him in the initiative roll. Roll a coordination check to rush over to the weapon before he can get to it.
Coordination, you said?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Coordination.
13.
Alrighty. Let's roll for him. Make sure you do it. 12. You beat him by 1. You rush forward and you. What do you want to do? Do you want to punch the weapon? Do you want to grab it? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna boost myself 10%, and I'm gonna just smash it.
Roll prowess.
Second number.
Oh, my chairs. Stop squeaking.
10.
Okay, 10. Let's see. You, surprise, surprise, are able to rush forward, and you try to punch it. But as you punch it, it almost rears back in anger and just hits you with a wave. It doesn't damage you, but both you and the Liberator get knocked back. But it looks like you cracked it. He's like, no, don't touch it. Don't touch it again. You stay away. As he's trying to get up, very hurt, very burnt. So, Mason, it is now his turn, though he's going to spend his turn getting back up because he fell prone. You, sir, what do you want to do? It's back to your turn.
Again,
Mhm.
which means time to go even harder.
Show it anime count. All right. Punch the hell out of it, Mason. You want to use any percentages?
20 more.
How much percentage do you have left in your pool?
30.
Ooh, okay. You boost up 20. Roll prowess one last time, potentially.
11.
You beat it. You rush forward, you grab onto the table for support, and you smash its pieces go shatter, or they're just shattered, go flying through the wind, and the electromagnetic pulse is gone. And you watch the electricity and the lights of the city just come back on. He's like, no, crap! Ah, I knew I should have put guards outside my facility, but I didn't want to seem suspicious. No matter. I will get a new one. I don't know how, I don't know when. Right now, all I want to do is stab your face. And he pulls out what looks like a short sword from within his robes.
Right now, all you're gonna do is shut up. Just go to jail.
Then make me. Yeah, he says like a child. So Mason, it's his turn. He's going to rush over to you. He's going to try and take more coordination.
20.
You dodge it with expertise. Is that a natural? Is that not 20?
No, it was 12 plus 8.
That's fine. Dirty 20s are fun. Either way, yeah, you swing, or he swings and you dodge successfully. It is now your turn as he kind of stumbles for his footing again.
All right.
What do you want to do?
I don't really want to use any more percentage right now until I'm sure I do it. So I'm gonna just punch him right in the face.
Okay, you're not going to use any percentages?
Nope.
Okay. Roll prowess to hit.
Ooh, 25.
25 with a 14. He fails his dodge. You run up and you just. Ow, I think it's bleeding. Ah! Roll damage. D4. Plain D4. Plain Jane D4.
Fucking kidding me.
Is it a 1?
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
You strike him in the face, he's just, you'll pay for that! He tries to do a swing at your belly. Roll coordination, dodge. Good luck.
Oh, God. 21.
So with a nat 20, he rushes forward and he strikes your belly and he does a quick slit. Mason, how much health are you at? So that way I can keep track. 2?
Yep.
Okay.
You chopped the building on me, John.
Yes, I did. And it was lovely.
For me.
So he comes up to you. I swear I'm not making this up. He did 1 point of damage. He did 1 point of damage.
Okay.
It's your turn.
How close is he to me right now?
Very close, right in front of you.
All right.
What do you do, chicken nugget?
I'm gonna use my last 30%.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch the shit out of him because that's all that's left that I can do.
That's all a shouted character can do. And you
That's all I got. That's all I got left. Holy fuck, I'm gonna die.
roll prowess.
12.
Oh my god, you beat him. He got an 11. Roll, since you're using 30, I'll be generous. Roll a d6. You better pray for a high
5.
number. Oh! Wait, okay. You punch him. You crack him in the stomach or wherever, and he goes flying. Just shit! And he busts through the wall. He's going to take 1 piece of environmental damage. He takes 3 damage from the environment, and he crashes against the other wall. And he just looks at you. He's like, "Oh." He just mutters softly, very beaten, very much in pain. What do you say, Mason?
I know how.
Ow. Oh, if you're talking, then the mic's not picking up.
I'm talking.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I have literally nothing, John. I'm
Okay,
prepared.
that's fine. We'll put insert line here. And he's just, no! And he falls aside, unconscious. So you go over to the area. You see where he had activated the city defense systems, because it's actually very well organized. It's nice and happy. And you are able to shut down the systems. The walls that the city has protecting it sink back into the ground. The anti-aircraft guns go in. This city was designed in a post-Mechana attack world, so it is very much prepared for like an alien invasion. So the lights have returned. You have lowered the defense systems, and you did it. The police are now able to come in. You notice as of this moment, now that the walls are down, heroes have been able to sneak into the city. It looks like they weren't able to with the sheer amount of defenses and didn't want to risk it. And you watch them quickly begin to clean up the city, destroy some of this technology. And Mason, what do you do now that you're in this broken control?
I'm gonna grab the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk out. Wait for the cops.
They
I'm
see
just
you.
trying to
It's
go
like
find him.
you point to where he's going to be. Okay. They go.
No,
They say
I
thank
no
you.
no no. I said I was gonna bring him out. I was gonna grab the guy and just
Okay.
bring him to him.
You just throw him at their feet.
Yep.
He's like, oh dear. They look down and they're like, thank you. Thank you, young man. They grab him, throw him in the back of the car, get him out of here. Make sure he stays in jail this time. And they look to you and say, you're a very brave young man. And like I said, we can't thank you enough for what you did. Your service here will definitely not be forgotten.
Well, if you want to thank me, start by taking me to a hospital, please.
Oh my God! He looks at all you. Just right away. Here, climb in the back. Climb in the back. Nancy, start the car! And they drive you off to the hospital. Wrapping things up, they clean up your wounds, they heal you up. You're at full health now, mechanically. Your mom was very worried about you. She couldn't find you when they were escaping the building and all that stuff. She's so happy you're alive. I assume you chalked it up to, all these wounds are from the building crumbling on me, nothing else. Yeah. Kind of heal up. And as you kind of rest in the hospital, we surprisingly get a similar ending to Anthony, with a hero visiting the young student in the hospital. You hear a knock on your door. And the doorknob turns, and you see Rising Phoenix in a nice suit, the flaming mask on, walks in. He's holding flowers and all that. He's like, "Hey, Mason, how are you doing? Feeling better?"
Well, I had my stomach slit, my head crushed, and a building dropped on me. So, considering all that, I'm pretty good.
He looks at you, he's like, "Dear, well, you are, Lord have mercy, you are one tough cookie, as the chicks would say. They still say that, right? Either way, I am absolutely amazed at your bravery that night. You truly have the makings of a young Mason. Truly." And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder very softly. He doesn't want. He leaves the flowers next to your bed. He kind of says, "Well, Mason, I wanted to ask you, are you still planning, obviously when you recover, on applying for the Washington High School Hero?"
Yeah, of course.
I just wanted to make sure. And he looks into one of his pockets and he pulls some papers. These are the application forms. I wanted to bring them to you just in case, so that way I read them myself, and in all honesty, I think you're going to make it in with flying colors. I hope.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope I can work with you soon. I hope you get in, and I pray I'm your teacher. I'd be very proud. Yeah, you rest up. I need to train you.
Oh, wait.
Yes? Yes.
Connor, did they ever find him?
No. I've been hunting him myself. There were a few traces, but they're all leading up gold.
What about the temple? Is it gone? There's nothing there?
Temple's empty. We went there, we searched, there's nothing.
What about Mom? Is she okay?
Oh, your mother, excuse me, yawned. Your mother, she's all right. She's doing quite fine. I think she was more worried about you than herself. Don't worry. When you're at the school, you will be in one of the most hero-rich areas on Earth. I don't think you'll have to worry about a Mr. Jackson making his way to you anytime soon. Now then, I'm going to let you rest. You need it. I do expect to see you at that entrance exam, young man. And I expect you to do your best.
Oh, trust. I want to pass with flying colors.
He snaps his fingers into type of finger gun. That's actually what the famous superhero Mr. Super used to do. He used to give finger guns to people. And kind of gives you one right there, winks, does a smile, and he walks out of the hospital room. And you kind of lie there, You rest easy, knowing that at least Rising Phoenix and the police are going after Connor, the Liberator's in jail, your mother's fine, and you're healing up quite well. And we cut to just a further scene of you, just some time later, you spending time with your mother. And it's just really nice. It's really sweet. She eventually learned of all the heroic stuff you did. She is so proud of you, and really just talk about that around like a dinner table. And then the camera pans out, and then the credits roll. But before the game's over, we have 2 end credit scenes. One of them, as the credits finish going by for one half, you see Connor pacing around in a room somewhere. You can't tell where. One of his goons is just like, "Look, boss, I'm sorry. I didn't think Mason would be so strong and all that. No. It's my fault. I should have prepared for him. He's very strong. I shouldn't have underestimated him. I should have left people at the building to watch him, make sure he didn't pop out. In an odd way, I'm actually quite proud of him. So what do you want us to do? Go after his mother? Kill her? What do you want us to do? No, that's too simple. And this is personal. This is between me and Mason, not his mother. Leave her be. I have a new plan in mind. Well, it sickens me to have to do this. I don't think we can snuff out Devil's Orchestra just yet. And call up Acid. I would like to talk to them about a proposal. I think I know where young Mason is going to continue to grow to be a hero. And I'd like some resources. And then we cut. And then the credits go by again. Play modern pop song that's really popular now, but will eventually become dated as time goes on. We get our last end credit scene. In this end credit scene, it's very simple. We hear the sound of flames. We look up a hill, and we see a cross burning with a few dog tags on it. And one of them says Roy on it. And the other one says Voresa. And then cuts away. And that end credit scene was teasing Alan's game. And Tim, you may stop the recording. That was Mason Origins' Hope's Crusader. I'm sorry,